Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Best Friends Podcast. On today's show, we've got our full recap and review of Captain America Civil War. We've got some DC news that we talk about, all that and more on today's episode of the Best Friends Podcast.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup!
Better.
I'm telling you should just leave it every time you fuck up. Just leave it.
He did the one time I giggled.
Hey everyone. Oh.
Wow. Hey, what's up?
Leave it.
What's up, Justin?
Keep going. Go with it.
These are our rough draft intros. But we're leaving them.
All right, fine.
We're leaving them. No, we're leaving them.
Oh, don't. No,
this is
unprofessional. I will not accept this.
Hey everyone.
Start over.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Best Friends Podcast. I'm Justin.
I'm Ben.
I'm Lucky.
And we finally seen Civil War. So today's the big review where we're going to talk about it. And I think overall we're just going to spoil it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's do. Well, here's
seen
quick,
it, man. What's it
quick,
made?
no spoiler. I loved it.
200 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Is
I
that
already gave my review of it before I saw the movie, and I was correct.
Oh yeah. That was a good call.
Lucky did his advanced review. I liked it.
Oh,
Fuck you, Justin.
well, Justin. Yeah. No, we'll get into this because I
you guys already talked about this?
No. But we saw it together, and we kind of had this. Yeah, and we kind of had the same reaction.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it afterwards.
Did you do the popcorn trick, Justin?
I did. I did.
Is that where
the combo with the
that's where
popcorn.
That's where he makes it disappear before I get a bite.
Yeah, that's the popcorn trick. Ben's
Somehow
like,
that sounds dirtier than what I was in. All right.
No, Ben was like, hey, you want to get two separate popcorns? I'm like, no, let's just get one because I have a popcorn trick.
Yeah.
No, but we did split popcorn, Ben and I did.
Yeah.
And we ate none of it, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I was all
Yeah,
sad,
you see the
really.
top layer with the butters, and when the butters it gets all dry, it's like, well, that's it.
Yeah. Well, there was like five
popcorn.
you eat popcorn through the previews nowadays, and then it's gone, and you're ready to watch
Well, the
movie.
previews are like 40 minutes long anymore because there's commercials and then previews.
You know, it's funny,
there's
like, half of them are already seen, because like we review all of the trailers on here, so I'm like, I already saw it. It was kind of cool seeing Rogue Squadron. Or is it Rogue
big
Squadron?
big
Rogue
and loud.
One.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like,
I agree. Yeah, I was
Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky, did they show that? What's his name? Danish Dezozu? Did they show that weird ass preview at when you went and saw it?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
so-
Okay. So I don't know how to pronounce it either. But
Danish Dezozu? I don't know.
It was like a hyper
Is this
political.
the thing you were texting about? Because no, and I have no idea what you're talking about either. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to explain it, go ahead, but I've never heard of this.
It was
So
just
go
so
ahead.
weird. Yeah,
It's hard to explain. Basically, it was a trailer that was like in between X-Men and Star Wars Rogue One. There was this weird, like, extremely political trailer. Like, tinfoil hat wearing director made this movie. And it
Put
was
it right
like,
in the middle of its demographic. He's like, X-Men and Rogues. Yeah, these are the people.
Yeah,
dude, the
and
whole
it
time
failed miserably.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the Democrats are out to like ruin the world, and it's the new world order
Is this like
run
a
by the
local
Democrats.
trailer they put in or something?
Dude, it may have been, but this was the
No.
reaction.
No way.
This was the reaction, though. It was just dead silent in the theater, and like Ben and I are kind of looking at each other, like, is this a real movie? Did someone like switch the reels? What just
It
happened?
felt like a trick.
Are we in Fight Club? Is someone just inserting subliminal
Yeah.
messages?
That's
in
what
the
it
middle
felt
of
like.
our
It
entertainment
basically
here?
was a dick. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
and-
it called? Let me try to Google it. Try to spell
I
it.
don't- forget.
I don't.
Democrats, how Democrats are secretly stealing America or something crazy like that. But yeah, so it was dead silence right after the preview ended, and then it was just like this growing swell of chuckles from like
And then
fucking
just
everybody.
absolute dying
Hillary's
laughing.
America. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the guy's name, Dinesh D'Souza. Hillary's America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and
yeah,
was
but
just-
I mean, it ended, and
Okay, I've
everybody
heard of
just
this guy's name before now. So
everybody
Yeah,
just
he's
started
kind of
laughing.
outspoken.
like uproariously
awesome.
laughing.
You know, it's funny too because you saw it in Cleveland, in the rural part of Cleveland, so most of the people are lean Republican there anyways, and they laughed at this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was probably 50-50, or I mean, just to be fair and not one
Actually,
of them.
superhero movie, probably less political.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you know what I
More
mean.
Democratic-y. Yeah.
but
And everybody was laughing. It was odd. It was odd.
yeah, it seemed like they normally have that like precursor on the green screen where it says the following preview has been chosen to accompany this feature film, and that one just should not have accompanied that feature film. Like that, like if I was watching Fahrenheit 9/11, I'd expect that trailer to show
Yeah,
up.
it
and
did.
was
It
really
felt
out of
like a
place.
Michael, whatever the hell his
Michael
name
Moore,
is.
yeah.
Michael Moore.
Hey, you guys like superheroes and seeing them fight? Well, look how Hillary Clinton's trying to tear this country apart. Think you're like Denise Souza's how Hillary.
Where's Captain America when you need him?
It's just the drawing of Captain America punching Hillary Clinton instead of Hitler. Just like
Yeah, that famous cover.
That's great. Before we get into like our full review, I guess as we continue to talk about our theater experience, I just want to say something. WD-40 goes a long way, and people need to shut the fuck up when they go to the movies.
Oh my God, you are
what's
not
the
kidding. dude.
WD-40? I don't get that.
So
reference.
they
What,
have like
squeaky?
just squeaky, because we go to a theater where they've got like the not reclining, but they kind of lean back a little bit. But yeah, just there's parts in that movie that are quiet and earnest, and you're like, oh, what a nice moment, or what a tense conversation they're having, and then you just hear just chairs squeaking left, right, all over the place, and it's just so distracting. And then
Dude,
on top of it, we had like 4 people behind us. They were just like straight up having a conversation for 2.5 hours.
The
Like,
whole
What the
fucking
fuck?
time.
yeah,
Did
Yeah,
you give
dude,
them
it
the
was
look?
bad.
What is it that time? I was like, I turned
Steph did.
around and then I.
Steph did, and then I did, and I saw Steph do it, and I was like, I got your back, and I'll
You
start
should have all
doing it too.
3 done it in unison.
yeah.
That was
I guess
Yeah,
in
super slow,
hindsight,
too.
I would have been like, "Hey guys, shut the fuck up." Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but
It's a rocky situation because
See, I wouldn't have said anything, but I would just turn around completely and just stared at them until they caught on.
I wanted to like turn around and just be like, "What's your opinion, guys? I'm really curious. I paid money to see this movie, but what I want to know
No,
is
'cause
what
you-
you
that way-
guys think."
Then you're inviting a conversation. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You just wanna
Yeah,
make
but it's
them feel
obvious.
I just
Yeah. I mean, that would be obvious.
it was the type of
That I was-
group that I was worried that if I said anything, that they would get loud in return.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They, yeah,
You know?
they were like, "Oh, it's funny. We're being cute,"
Yeah,
and it would have been worse. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
so
The-
Or
I
just
mean-
turn your phone light on them. Just
We should bring a flashlight to movies.
Well,
and
you have it
anytime
in your
somebody
phone.
talks,
There's the
just
LED
shine it on them.
light.
you know what I'm gonna do next
No,
time?
it needs to be like an Usher flashlight.
I'm just gonna go tell the manager on them. Problem solved.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna tell on them. That's all there's
I'm
to
gonna
it.
I tell their mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it in a AMC theater, my buddy. Do you guys have those there with and it has like the electronic
Oh,
reclining
you the
seats.
recliners. No, no.
But here's the shitty thing is I was in the because so my buddy ordered them and we ordered them like an hour before, and so there's assigned seating and
Oh,
like
yeah.
I guess you have to obey the assigned seating. It's like you're a fucking airplane or something. So we were like in the front row in the right corner, and so I don't know if it was so you got to see it again because like from that angle I'm like looking up and with the 3D glasses it's still 3D but like I don't know. I think it's just too close, and it like fucks things up, and like I could kind of see the frames. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Gotcha.
Oh
chopped
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
So like, it was fine. Like non-fast scenes, like all the slow ones you're talking about that the squeaky chair ruined. But like anytime that like there was like action and stuff, I was like, this looks so much better when I was watching it on my computer in HD on the trailer and stuff. But like,
Right.
I need to see it again. I'm gonna try to check it out in IMAX or something. I don't know if I'll see it in 3D or not, but like. Maybe I will, but like,
we saw
Yeah,
it non 3D.
where
which was
were you
enjoyable.
in the theater? Did you get to get the seat?
Oh, dead
They kinda-
center, dude.
Yeah,
That's
smack
the
dab.
ideal spot.
We
That's
were
it.
we
You
went
get
to
a whole
the
row to yourself. Too?
no, it was a packed house. It was really full.
Yeah, ours was really full.
we saw the 10:30, and we must have gotten there right at 10 o'clock, and the theater was just, there was no parking. I was like, oh my god, we didn't get here early enough, But really, it was just parking for everybody that saw like the 7:30 or whatever was ahead of our show, and so they had like a queue right outside of the door, and there was maybe 6 people in line, and I was like, oh,
British? They had a queue. You mean a line?
Yeah, what the fuck? Good catch, Lucky.
Did you catch that too, Ben, or what?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Justin, you went to see fucking Captain America and you stood in the queue?
What was doing the Captain America?
Captain.
I was in the cinema and stood online in the queue. Listen, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
On queue or in queue?
Yeah, I was on queue. I was on. You ever hear people say that they were standing online instead of in line?
That's weird.
It's like a downstate New York thing, and then I don't know what other region's doing it, but like
Wait,
like if New York City area people say online.
Yeah.
I've only said online.
Does that mean like do the British people download things on queue and like off queue or however the hell?
Yeah, they get on queue.
It's in line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just backwards.
Yeah.
So we were standing in line, and
There you go.
there was like 10 people in front of us, and I was like, oh, is this all that the line is? And of course, we walk in the theater, and it's just like, sit wherever you want. So yeah, we sat like dead center, right in the middle, which was, again, the people around us really tried to ruin that perfect seating experience, but I'll be damned if they did.
Well, and the other thing is, to prepare for this movie, we the Comixology, they had that sale on Civil War, and we all bought it. And we all read it, and it was the first time I read it, other than playing the video game and knowing the story that way.
I like how we had discussions about it before, and now I'm like, he based it all on the freaking video game.
Well, no, not all, because I mean, when you're in, there's a lot of storylines I know about that I never read, but you just know about them just from being a fan. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe reading stories about the story.
No, I don't know.
On Wikipedia.
I read.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. There's got to be a story you know about that you didn't read. I guarantee it. I'll put 2, 1, 3 quarters on it.
Obviously, there's stories I read everything. Okay, moving on. So
anyway, yeah. So we all kind of bought it and read it in preparation. And as we're standing in line, Justin's reading. He's finishing up book 7. So right before he saw Civil War, he finished reading Civil War.
Yeah, like just before the trailer started, I was just finishing it. So
you're
it was
like
perfect
the
timing.
kid who's like cramming just before the test in the room. You're just like, come on, obviously you didn't study. Just go take the test.
It was one of those things where I had the timeline of my day planned out, and I just thought I can read it in this amount of time, and then I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I can. So I'm like speed reading, and like, oh my gosh, I gotta power through this.
And then the whole time throughout the movie, he's going, the book was better.
I did not.
Wait, Justin, was that the first time you read it too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who are you people? Come on.
We're the guys that are on the comic book
Did you not
podcast
read it in
that
2006?
never read comics.
Come on.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
I know it was a big event.
Well, you were reading Blackest Night then, huh?
I was.
Is that what it was?
It probably would have been, 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know my timeline.
No, it wouldn't have been Blackest Night. Not yet. Blackest Night, I
Brightest
think,
Day?
was...
Oh, no, Brightest Day is after Blackest Night.
Blackest Night must have been 2005, 2006.
Okay. So there's a lot.
No, I'm sorry. 2011. 2010, 2011 was Blackest Night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Green Lantern Rebirth then.
Yeah, you're probably right.
The first rebirth, not this current rebirth.
The good rebirth.
Yeah.
Well, at least, I don't know. We'll see. But, so do you guys want to talk about the book real quick?
Sure.
Because I don't know, for me anyway, I like the book. I did like the book better than the movie.
Did you really? No shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think one of the, we'll get into it more, but I'll just say this. One of the things that I was concerned about that we talked about in an earlier podcast was I said that I thought the scale seemed a little small based on the trailers. And I think I found that to be true during the movie. Like I didn't feel like,
well, they don't have the whole entire Marvel universe, including the X-Men and Sentinels, and Oh,
So,
the villains in it.
yeah, I know.
I have a theory about that, but
So real quick, I just want to say that they do have that much though, because they could have pulled from Guardians of the Galaxy, they could have pulled from Daredevil, they could have pulled from
Not right
Hulk
now.
and Thor and Loki. Any of those people could have
Okay,
showed
but
up.
like, here's what. Why would you add Daredevil? Like, what you want him to be the secret weapon? Okay, I
He
get
could have
Daredevil's in the
been.
Civil War, but like,
I'm just saying because okay. So I guess here's the biggest question that I have
you're
too.
just being too much of a fanboy. It's just like everything can't be such as you wish it to be. They have minimal, or they're working with the resources they have. Like,
Yeah, I know.
and also a lot of people don't read comics, so you're going to introduce. Not everyone watches the Netflix show, so you're going to go in the movie and they're like, "Why is Daredevil and Punisher? Or people that might not even know who Daredevil is, or like Jessica Jones shows up, they're just like, who's that girl? She has like Superman powers. Like, what's she doing?
I guess I would argue back though that they introduced Black Panther in this movie with no backstory, and he's just
Spider-Man.
there and has powers.
So
Spider-Man we kind of know about, but
Spider-Man, you got a 20-minute intro for him in the movie.
Yeah.
So now you
So-
got to give everyone.
I won't.
10.
So let's start from the beginning. I'm just saying, for me, that was one of the things I thought was small, and the book is not that way. The book is like I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
And
I like them both separately, just because you can't do the book all the time in the movie. Maybe in 10 years you could do that when they introduce everything into like
And-
Phase 5 of the Marvel
It's-
universe. But like,
sort of
I
a
mean-
counter.
you get to have your opinion, and that's fine. But like, just to me, I like them both separate. That's all.
sure.
Sort of a counterpoint to Justin's. There's not enough characters because I mean it is true whether you like it or not. It's true. There's not it's not as big of a conflict as far as how many characters go, but there is more story in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a more cohesive story in the movie too.
Yeah. Yep.
So then that's the other. I mean, that's the other argument. Then, like, what story are you gonna have by having more characters, and it just gets more convoluted. Because, like,
Yeah,
even
you know,
in the book, they have a character, and then they kill Goliath,
Yeah.
and like, just like,
Yeah.
who is that guy? It's like, yep, they just put him in there to kill him, basically.
Well,
So that's what you do with a movie, then. Well, I
I-
guess they did Quicksilver in the last movie, but
I want to say that I don't think the comic book is perfect either, though.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, I liked it. I don't know, at least as much, if not maybe more than the movie itself. But there are moments in the comic book that really make you scratch your head, like Wolverine, who's one of the poster characters for all of the Marvel universe. He's in Civil War, but like you never really see him fight all that much.
because the X-Men were neutral during this story.
That's true. Okay,
Same thing. Same thing.
there were no other mutants. All the mutants were neutral.
that's true.
It's so weird that they would be neutral. And I didn't read the X-Men Civil War.
Oh,
I just,
well, I mean, they kind of allude to it
They
because,
do,
like,
because he
like,
sits down with
they-
Emma Frost.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He does.
they're cleaning up, and like the Sentinels are there, and Wolverine's like, "What the hell?" And there's like, "We're just here because of the garment." Wolverine, like, there's some, I forget what storyline it is. It might have been something happened in the X-Men storyline. I don't know if it's the Onslaught one just happened, but like, so no one like trusts mutants right then, so that's why they have like Sentinels there, and so I think that's why
oh yeah, yeah.
they're neutral, because they're like, we're on thin ice, so we can't really. We don't want
And
to take.
see, and it's weird because that's like, if you're planning the story out, you got to go through some pretty big mental gymnastics to get to that point where the mutants who, they've gone through the Mutant Registration Act, they've been, sort of looked down upon by society, their whole existence, and then when this thing happens with the Avengers, the Civil War, they're going to take Cap's side, and they just don't. And it's almost like it's almost a cop out, almost like, well, the X-Men aren't going to be in it. You know what I mean? Like, because at that point, Captain America's side automatically wins with those heavy hitters on his side. So it's kind of like they had to do it. They had to kind of nerf it a little bit.
Nerf hurt it.
Yeah, they had to nerf it.
So
Let's move on from.
Well, let me say because my theory kind of fits in right here with Justin's idea that there should be there should have been more characters or whatever. I think what they're going to do is, because at the end of spoilers, obviously, at the end of the movie,
You're going to get the more characters in the Infinity War. Or
yeah,
whatever.
the Sokovia Act is still, or Accord is still, on. It never resolved.
Right.
It never went away. It's still going on, and they have that raft. So I think we're going to see. I mean, you could introduce 50 characters just on that raft. Like, hey, look, here's Daredevil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like real quick, and then tell
Well-
this big story with all these characters.
And the time between now and when Infinity Wars comes out, which I think is actually is it 2017 and 18 or 2018 and 19? I
Oh,
can't
it's
remember.
17, 18.
I just imagine that they could spin the Netflix series that Daredevil does get locked up. Like that could be part of Daredevil season 3, that Daredevil gets locked up because of what's going on in the Sokovia Accords. And it's 2018, so it's
18,
two
19.
more years away. But yeah, you're right. They could do that, and that kind of makes sense. I guess that's part of where my head was going, was that I think, what was it, six people per side in this movie, or was it just 5? It was somewhere around 10 or 12 people that were fighting in the Civil War here, right?
Yeah.
And you know, the Russos were saying that there's going to be 68 recognizable Marvel characters in Infinity Wars, and we saw 12. So where are the other 50 some coming from?
Well, Justin, you know what makes me want to punch you in your perfect teeth about this is that your grand movie that we did all these leading up to reviews on was Batman v Superman. Let's count how many heroes were in that one. So we had 3 main ones. We had a Flash cameo, a glimpse of Aquaman, a glimpse of Cyborg, and yet there's not enough superheroes in Captain America Civil War for you. It's not even supposed to be it's called Captain America. It's supposed to be a Cap movie, but you get all these superheroes, and you get Black Panther and Spider-Man, and any other Marvel movie, and but this isn't enough superheroes for you. But Batman v Superman's fine.
Okay, so first of all, I never said Batman vs Superman was fine.
That's right. We have about 5
I
episodes.
just wanted to
that
hear
prove
you
that.
say that again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we've well
Say it's
established
not
that
fine.
movie was
Say
not
it.
fine.
But he also didn't have a comic book to bounce it off of.
Well-
the BVS was like loosely based off of. This is like
6
straight
comic
up.
books.
Well, there's
Yeah.
there's 13 Marvel movies leading up to this one, right? So there's
They
had
put all the characters, okay, except for Thor and Hulk, but
Thor and Hulk,
And-
any of the Guardians,
which is
coulda showed
exciting
up.
almost.
I don't know. I'm
the
just
Guardians are in space.
Yeah.
You're gonna be zapped back in here with a ship, and then just like pick a side.
Yup.
I guess I
They're
care
like, hey,
about
we
this
were out-
side.
How would you write the Guardians in?
I don't know.
Like Tony Stark, he's been monitoring them from space, even though he's never been in space yet, and he just sends a signal out to Star-Lord, and they show up, and Groot, and
I'm
I
glad.
think he would definitely be on. He'd be on Iron Man.
Okay,
side.
here you go. Here you go.
Okay, yeah.
Star Lord is originally from Earth. And,
yeah, from Atlanta.
and he comes back to visit his mom
is
and
the next-
his
who's
mom's
dead?
grave.
Mom's dead.
His mom's grave.
Okay.
His mom's grave.
Okay.
He's putting flowers on her gravesite,
Oh, he's
and
coming
he hears about all this craziness going on, and he says, "You know what? We got to help out. We got to do something."
He
Even
heard
though
that
he
Guns
was
N'
just
Roses got
involved
back together.
Before.
I don't know. I'm just saying. So,
I'm
all
just
right,
messing with you.
I mean,
Obviously,
So
everyone
you
wants
loved
more
it.
heroes in it, but like it's just going to be a messy story sometimes when you put too much without putting the work in. And I think the way they did it with the movies, like with the work they did with the other Marvel Earth movies, I think it makes sense for the number of heroes they put in here, and they managed to fit 2 more in. So
I just think you could have maybe not called this one Civil War, because I feel like there's so many loose ends too.
it's the same thing as Age of Ultron. It's a misnomer. You're just going to get
No,
mad.
I think
either way, whatever they name.
I think they nailed the name on this one because there is a lot of parallels between this.
There
like,
are.
There's,
They did
it's
do a
definitely
good job of
different,
that.
but there's a lot of parallels. Miriam, the mom,
Yeah,
you know, the kind of linchpin or whatever
Right.
for Iron Man to kind of get on board of the Accord. That was there.
Oh, there was a lot of stuff at the end when Iron Man and
Secret
Captain
Prison.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, Secret Prison. Yeah,
Captain America and Iron Man are fighting. He's like, computer analyze the you know,
yeah, that
fight,
part was
fight
awesome.
pattern or whatever, so that he can,
Yeah.
that was cool too.
Fight
Well,
him hand to
so
hand
again,
combat.
let me be really, really clear. I like the movie. I'd like to see it again. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to watch it
Yeah.
all the way back through again. And there's a lot of moving parts to this because there are. I mean, to your point, there are still a lot of characters in this movie, and so there are a lot of moving parts. But I thought, undeniably, it is a Captain America movie. I mean, he's clearly the focal point of the entire movie. How he's torn between his allegiance to the Avengers and his childhood friend in Bucky.
I was kind of surprised how much of a Winter Soldier movie it was as well. Like that was going to continue over. I mean, it was like straight from Winter Soldier. It was.
If you think about it like this, so just ignore the other Marvel movies. If you look at it as Captain America, First Avenger, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and then Captain America: Civil War. If you look at it as a trilogy, everything makes sense, and like the relationship with him and Bucky makes sense between the three movies. So that's why it has to conclude this way. It's like basically the story of Captain America and his friend Bucky.
Yeah,
other stuff going on with it too. But like if you look at it as a trilogy rather than as the 13th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it makes more sense. So
sure. And
not that it doesn't make sense if you look.
No,
at
yeah,
it
no, I get
together.
it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But like that's the way I figured out and just like, oh, okay, it's kind of cool. Do it like that.
Yeah, going in, you kind of thought, okay, Avengers 3, and it's definitely Captain 3.
Yeah. You could call it all those other movies. You can call it Iron Man 4 and Avengers 3, and it would make sense. But like ultimately, the story they're telling is Cap. And like even though, like I was watching, like he doesn't have the best lines or anything because like he's not that type of character. But like he's the one that holds every other piece together in the movie, though. So like it's his journey and his fight. I mean, everyone else might have better lines and be more entertaining, but like yeah, it's a Cap movie.
Yeah, and he's Cap all the way through, man.
Yeah.
He's so, and I'll say again, I think the Russos totally get how to make Captain America fight because he's fucking badass in this movie.
Oh man,
just
he is.
The shield moves and stuff like that he uses throughout. I just thought he was awesome all the way through the movie. Thought he was great.
In that beginning when you see like the new Avengers, I don't think that's officially what they are, but they're kind of trying to be cohesive, and she throws him through the window, and he goes in and starts throwing his shield around, and he hits that dude in the neck, and the dude's like out, but he's standing up still, and he runs over and punches him. I was like, holy shit.
That thing doesn't obey the laws of physics. But, yeah, that's why, like, I was saying I just watched that Hulk movie today, and I was in The Incredible Hulk from, 2008? Whatever, but like just watching the end one is just the Hulk and the Abomination fighting, and I'm just like, that's not that interesting. But like all the fight scenes in Captain America, whether like the hand-to-hand ones are great and the choreography is great.
Yeah.
And when they have the big we don't have to talk about it yet, but just saying like when they have the big airport fights, it's freaking amazing. Like they know their action sequences, and it's like the perfect mix of CGI and like stunt acting and whatever. It just looks great. It's freaking entertaining. Like,
and Black Widow was fucking nuts in this one too. This was like her best fighting in all the movies, I thought.
Oh, that's the other thing. Justin, did you listen to the Fat Man on Batman review?
No, I haven't. I didn't.
Well, they pointed out that like every time the Russo brothers and McFeeny, I'll look up the name in a sec, but like the writers, like he's like they do a way better job of Black Widow than in any other movie.
Yeah.
Like, do you think about, especially compared to Age of Ultron, and like there was so much outrage about her in that movie too, mostly like feminist stuff, but like they do just do it better. They give her more to do, and she plays a better role. Like when she was in Winter Soldier, she was awesome, and then in this one, she's great too, and she's like the ultimate spy, just playing both sides. You don't really know what side she's on.
Yeah, and
that was
even
perfect,
in the middle
man.
of the fight, she switches sides temporarily.
Which
it almost feels like a few times or something.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And that's what's interesting about her, but it matches so well with who she is, being that she's kind of a spy and does that type of, that's kind of like her nature to, kind of be on one side but pretend like you're not, and she temporarily let them go. Really well handled, and the combat sequence at the beginning with her, she is a huge, like, I'd say that's a huge like Captain America and Black Widow like showcase where
they've had comic books together, so it's not like a weird pairing. There's literally a comic book called Captain America and Black Widow. So,
yeah.
but I do like that they team them up in these movies. It's really cool, and like they're kind of complement each other. So like Captain America is like the hero soldier, very decisive, and then she's like the spy. Yeah, but like she's almost like a girl version of him, but also like the different aspects. But
So my two
Perfect
favorite,
compliments. I'm saying that's all.
my two favorite. Well, actually three. The first thing that I was like, oh, holy shit, this is like number one, great writing for her. Number two, great action, and just like the role she plays throughout the thing. But the first thing they're doing that. They're trying to find Crossbone in the beginning, and the Falcon says something to her over the comm, and she says, I forget what she says, but she's all paranoid, and he's like, "You sound paranoid." And he's like, "No, I'm just nervous." Why? Did somebody say something? Being all paranoid. And then the second, like there was a right after she's meeting with Black Panther and or T'Challa, and there was that bodyguard of his, that tall black woman, the bald one, and she walks up to her and says, "Move" or "Get out of the way" or whatever, and she doesn't smile like, "Ooh, we're gonna fight." She just smiles, like, kind of like laughs, like, "You're cute." You know what I mean? Like, she was like super confident. Yeah, I was like, "Holy shit, she's a badass." Yeah.
There was that other part too with Black Widow that I really liked, where it's her and Ant-Man facing off at the airport, and Ant-Man's like, I really don't want to hurt you, and she's like, "I wouldn't stress about it," and just kicks him right in the nuts.
Yeah. Dude, she had a lot of great parts. But one of the best moves, and like one of the most memorable moves, is when Agent Carter, Sharon Carter, and her are fighting Winter Soldier.
Agent
and
13.
Sharon Carter. Agent 13. She starts kicking the Winter Soldier, and then out of nowhere, just this flying knee comes in and lands right in the Winter Soldier's chest for Black Widow, and it looks like it freaking hurt. Like, you can see it hit in all the weight that was there. Like, damn, that was a good move.
Yeah, the fight scenes just overall in this movie were definitely a standout. As, I don't know, I mean, it feels to what you're saying about it, it felt hard hitting. Some of the stuff in like and not to bash Joss Whedon, but his use of those same, portfolio of characters, it just didn't feel like as brutal. And these fights felt brutal.
Oh man,
here's the other thing though, like and like I saw interviews of the actors talking about this. It's better in this movie because superhero fighting superhero. It's more personal. It's in the space. Like in the two Avengers movies, they're fighting fodder.
Yeah.
The first one just CGI aliens. The second one just
CGI Ultrons
clones. Or Hydra agents. So like just nameless people don't have names. Not gonna matter. Obviously, they're not gonna make it out of the movie. So like, I don't know. Maybe it's a choice of writing, but like, you just inherently have more to do, and the audience has more invested when you're watching superheroes fight. It's like watching a family fight. It's like,
yeah,
like you don't care about the aliens in the Avengers movies,
right?
Like, you're just like, obviously they're gonna die and the good guys are gonna win. But this one, I don't know. It's just
people and it's
different things that work. Yeah, exactly. So
like, ooh. So I guess the third event, because so there, no, I guess it would be the fourth that kicks off the Accords. We have New York, we have DC, we have Sokovia, and then where are they in this one? At the very beginning,
they're in Wakanda.
No,
it's not Wakanda. It's a real
Lagos.
Like Lagos is the capital.
Yeah, you're right.
African country.
And so we have that
Nigeria.
because Crossbones goes to blow up Captain America because he's like super fucking pissed at him. Like, he's holding a vendetta. And what I thought was cool is they had Scarlet Witch contain the blast, and which I was like, holy shit, that was fucking mind blowing. And then she kind of directs him up, and the blast takes out a building. And so there's event number 4, and that kind of kicks everything off. That kicks off.
Can I just say, like, real quick, like, I don't like how they killed Crossbones off because he's like a big Captain America
That's what I thought.
villain rival, and I was like, oh, come on.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to throw this off, and just let me vent this out
did you
real
finish
quick.
your point, Ben, or not? Or I don't think you finished your point.
No, he did. Go ahead, Ben.
I finished it. I just was trying to.
Oh, you're just talking
get
about the okay. What
the
get us to
timeline,
what-
and that's
what
kind
kicked
of
it
how.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was part of the issue that I had with the movie was that we've got I guess a pretty prime villain.
He's a pretty cool guy too.
Yeah,
And
and
pretty cool bad guy.
And he was even cool in the movie, like with his gauntlets that he was punching shit. Like, he
It
punched
looked
that
way better in the
security
movie
door.
than the still pictures. The still
Oh,
pictures,
definitely,
that
yeah.
looks ridiculous. In the movie, it made it make sense. He's like cocking him, and then he hits the door and shit. Like,
Yeah, it was fucking. I was like, holy shit, okay.
I guess what I had an issue with was whatever that little red capsule was, we never find out. Like, okay, we got it.
Yeah.
You know, it was just that part of the movie for me just felt like a total throwaway moment. I don't think we needed another disaster. I thought
they called him MacGuffin.
Yeah, it was a total MacGuffin. Yeah, it was like, oh well, we got to go get Crossbones because he's gonna get this little red vial.
This poison. No one knows what it is, but like,
Yeah, we'll never
you don't
know.
See the facts or anything. No.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. You don't know why it's there. Even after they resolve the issue, you never see or hear of it again. It was just totally in the story as like, oh, we got to have another reason why. And yeah, in that moment, they kill Crossbones. It's like, okay, we just pointlessly they developed this villain in the first movie. Well, I guess in Winter Soldier.
Great. He was like close to Cap, and they're going on missions together and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, don't waste that.
Yeah,
right?
now he's just dead and gone. Like, fuck him. We don't need him anymore. So
I feel like it served a few purposes, if I may.
You may, sir.
Yeah, you may,
If I
sir.
may
You yield
interject.
the floor to the gentleman from Matar. or whatever.
Ben
So-
now Ben's British. It's all rubbing
Yes.
off on us.
God damn it. Well, now I lost my point, so fuck you guys.
Okay, well, you're gonna say why it was good they killed Crossbones.
Yeah, okay. Well, it wasn't good that they killed Crossbones per se, but
Good,
that
then you
whole
agree with
scene,
us. Next topic.
it wasn't okay, moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yes. It set up. Okay, we're looking at the team that we left off with in Age of Ultron. We're seeing that the team becoming cohesive. We see all the rough spots that still need sanded out, and we also see that Scarlet Witch doesn't know her strength yet. She's still feeling herself out, which is a whole arc that we go throughout this whole movie. And by the end, she's like fucking super confident. She's not afraid anymore. So in this, it kind of set that up as well to where, this wasn't supposed to be a part of the story. It wasn't supposed. It was just like them going about their business, and then they fucked up again. And this time, because you can argue with New York, you can argue with DC, you can argue with Sokovia that they were doing their best to stop something that was going to be way worse if they weren't there. And so that's a little less like, oh yeah, we do need these people to be, watched.
We don't know how worse it was gonna be because we never got to see what the poison does or anything.
Yeah, but it got bad because she was directly responsible for blowing up a building rather than just blowing up Captain America. So instead of us losing Captain America, oh, I really care for Captain America, I'm going to save him. She kills a lot of innocent people that were in that building, and that's kind of okay. That is directly your fault, and we need to watch you. And that kind of kicks off the Civil War.
Okay.
And I guess one thing I would have liked to see differently about it is, like, in the comic book, it all happens because of
The televised fight with the new warriors.
Speedball, or
Yeah,
was it Speedball?
no, it was somebody else that blew up, I think.
It was a villain that blew up.
Yeah. But the point is that none of the Avengers were involved with that. That happened, and then the Avengers come in and say, "Oh my gosh, look at what has happened," and things like that.
Actually, like, thinking about it, to me, that's kind of a nice adaptation because that one kicked off the Registration Act, and that was a villain blowing himself up. And this one, it was a villain blowing himself up. Just too bad it's Crossbones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I guess what I'm saying is that, like, I don't know where Tony Stark / Iron Man was in that, but I guess I would like to have seen him there with Captain America and his team, because it already seemed like they were divided from the very beginning. Like, I think Iron Man could have or should have been there, and then when they bring in the Sokovia Accords, he says, you know what, they're right, look at what just happened. But he wasn't even there, so they already felt divided from the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a division. He was kind of trying to get away from it at the end of Age of Ultron. He was like done, and then
that's
it's
true. Yeah,
Falcon and Cap, and they're like, "Well, how's the new team look?" Well, they're not ready, and then kind of shows them.
That's
like,
true.
There's Vision, Scarlet. So it was less of a division, dude. I'm telling you, I watched it.
You do like Ultron.
Perfect. No, not Ultron.
Not wrong with it. I like Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like that's a thing on our show now, where Ben somehow goes back to talking.
I love Age of Ultron.
You should keep defending it, and we should never keep criticizing. It's like, why are you defending? We didn't say anything bad about it.
But hey, guys, it's a great movie, and it's very well told.
Movie.
Even with you. Well, it's still, it's a good movie. I know. I'm like,
Yeah, the episode that this past episode where Katie was on and filled in for me, and you guys were talking about how Joss Whedon kind of he just kind of like pushed all the other movies to the wayside and didn't ever go back to them or explain, like, okay, this is why he was here, or whatever. And how the Russos do that, where they will go back and call. There was a lot of that. Like they even referenced Iron Man 3, which is pretty crazy. And they had the dude from the Hulk movie. They had Thunderbolt Ross. So it's like all these references from like the less popular Marvel movies. They tied in.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say the Incredible Hulk is the shittiest canon Marvel Universe movie, but it is canon now because they included that guy. So,
but who owned it though? That was kind of like
Universal.
so it was kind of forgiven a little bit, I think, just because they didn't have. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the deal was, but when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay. It wasn't like 100% Marvel, so they're still kind of unblemished, except for Iron Man 3, which I actually liked.
I think this is the deal with the Hulk. So, Marvel Studios can produce and have creative control over the movies, but anytime it's a Hulk movie, Universal gets the distribution rights. But then, so Marvel can't make their own Hulk movie, but they can put Hulk in an Avengers movie.
Okay. You know what? I did read that.
Change
And that's
the next one though, so I don't know. Because remember, it was weird. Because I went back, watching Iron Man. And it's like you see the other studios in the like New Line Cinema, like what the fuck? And like so now they're all just Marvel, and it's just because they made enough money to own their own rights and stuff now. But it's kind of it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Is it
Enough about legal contracts.
Yeah. Can I? Yeah, Trade Federation, whatever. Can I bring something up too about like? So you're talking about the
Trade Federation.
why
that works its way into every episode somehow too.
it does.
So like you sit around the table and they're talking about all the things you were saying, Ben, of like the other disasters in the past, Sokovia and New York City, whatever. But then it's like you never see anyone die. It's just like I'm not like more like I want to see some civilian casualties in this, but like you see when Scarlet Witch makes the explosion go up in the air and it explodes, and like you see glass shatter in the building, but like and then like they do it well emotionally.
Only by her reaction do you know. She just killed people. Right.
Her reaction and Cap's reaction, like we're gonna need medical teams on the south side.
Medic.
Or he says even or something.
He puts his finger in the air and he goes medic.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna need a medic.
Uh-oh. But like you never
Oops.
No. Like you never that's from McGrubber. When all the wrestlers died, you see McGrubber, Justin? You'll like that scene. He recruits all these WWE wrestlers and they blow up in a van. And he's like, no.
McGruber.
Yeah, McGruber, yeah.
Yeah.
But like you never see, and I get it, it's a PG-13 movie. It'd be R if you shoot like people bleeding with their arms off and stuff. But like you never see any of the actual violence. Like civilian casualties are always implied in these Marvel movies. Just like New York City, no one ever dies, but you're like, oh, look at the death toll later, and you're like, wait, no one died in that movie.
Well, on the second viewing, like during the movies, you don't see any of that. But on the second viewing of Civil War, when what is it, Secretary of Defense Thunderbolt Ross now?
Yeah, sure.
He's showing that video, and it's from angles where you can see people running away and like getting swallowed by things like waves and buildings falling. So you kind of actually, see.
I'll have to check it out again, but like it wasn't super apparent, like because like I remember watching in theaters, like look at these disasters, like no one's dying, like what's so like But anyway,
I have one moment to kind of poke a hole in this, and only because we ripped on Batman vs Superman for doing it. So I want to be fair.
I did the same thing in Batman vs Superman. Like,
I was gonna say we should be
and they never.
We should be keeping a tally of the parallels between the two movies, also.
Well, I think there are a few.
Well,
there's a bunch. Yeah.
So.
Go ahead to your original.
When they pull into the parking garage at the airport, it's Captain America and Bucky and Falcon, and you hear all these sirens go off, and they all kind of pause and look around, and I forget who was
evacuated the airport.
Yeah, they're evacuating the airport is what's happening. Like, don't worry, everyone. So. Because that was my whole thought, too, was...
The Batman be super like, oh, it's in an uninhabited part of Gotham. By the prime real estate by the water. No one lives there, so we can go fight there. You know
So-
how people don't like waterfront property? Yeah, we'll go fight there.
Yeah, that's my biggest. So my biggest gripe. This is not picking on either movie, but just stop catering to the fans. It's a fictional movie, and if people die, then again, it's a fictional movie. So I don't know. I just feel like both movies are way too sensitive to like, oh, these superheroes are killing a lot of people. Well, guess what? You don't want to see a movie where they kill nobody because it'd be very boring.
This is one thing George Lucas did right. He showed Anakin killing the Sand People and the Padawans, learners. Like,
heads rolling.
Just little kids killed him. Come on, Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's see some kid.
If you're not killing kids, you're not doing it right. We want some authenticity.
You're not making the best friends happy here.
No, it's just I feel like it's too much of catering to the internet crowd of like whining about deaths. Again,
you don't have to be graphic. Just show a building fall on some people.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
Just dust. And it's on them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's probably some sensitivity because of 9/11 and all that stuff, and I get that. But at the same time, I just, again, you're watching an action movie. People are going to die. There's going to be collateral damage. It's just, what movie do you want to watch? Do you want to watch a movie where they don't destroy a building?
Yeah.
Because for me, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who's the guy that made all the like end of the world movies?
ID4 guy. Guy?
Yeah. Independence Day.
Whatever. We all
is it Roland Emmerich? I
That's
don't know.
It is. It is. Roland.
Okay. Yeah. Day After Tomorrow. All those movies are like people like watching the end of the world type of. People like watching the end of the world kind of stuff and catastrophic things happen. The Rock was just in San Andreas, another blockbuster with the world falling apart. So
is that a good movie? My buddy watched. He said he didn't like it.
I heard it was decent.
He said The Rock was good. Then everything else sucked.
Yeah.
Got Alexandria Daddario, whatever the hell her name is. Have you guys not? Do you know of her?
I have no idea who that is.
No.
She's the hottest girl on planet Earth.
And I don't even know if you got the name right, but I don't know.
Alexandria Daddario.
You didn't say it with confidence though, so
yeah, because there's a pair of guitar strings called Daddario, and then there's her name that's like spelled similarly, but they pronounce it differently, so I don't know how to say it. Anywho,
so
this isn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I don't need your thought process.
It's like
I know.
I was gonna say this,
and I know it's not this.
They do that. It's so annoying.
It's like a math problem. Show your work. I want to see your work. I don't want to just know the answer. I want to know how you got there.
Dude, I feel like that's my whole life, though. I'm constantly justifying my dumb thoughts. A book by Ben Falkenstein.
My memoir.
What was your? I mean, I don't know. What was?
Let's write this shit back to Civil War.
Yeah. What was your favorite stuff in the movie?
Can I say? Oh, who's going first?
You go first.
Go.
I say, okay, like yes, Spider-Man and Black Panther steal the show, but like Paul Rudd is
dude. Yes,
like dude. I just love his career too. He plays the same guy in every movie, just like this is unbelievable. This is great. This is unbelievable. Yeah. This is great. And like he's in this, and he's just he shows up in the van. And he's just like
he's like asleep,
shaking your head too much. Yeah,
everyone's calling him. Everyone's calling him Captain Rogers in this movie. He's the only one calling him Captain America like he's a fan.
Here's your shield, Captain America.
Yeah. that was my favorite. Too. That was my favorite fucking line.
Because he said it like he's trying to sound like Superman.
A superhero, yeah. Or so.
Here's your shield. I think this belongs to you, Captain America. And then,
I'm your partner, by the way.
And then, dude, all his lines just crack me up. And then, like, it's like he doesn't believe he's in a superhero fight. Like he's like trying to cross himself because he's like when he's like getting he's like when I was gonna say Green Arrow when Hawkeye is like he's on the air he's like you all buckled in he's like yeah I'm ready, let's go Arrow guy, go ahead do this.
He calls him Arrow guy.
Arrow guy.
Yeah. That was cool.
Just like he doesn't actually know their names or something. It's like Arrow guy, let's go.
Dude, on the second watching. The biggest laugh I got from, which I didn't laugh in the movies because I was like in awe, is when he becomes Giant Man. He stands up, and he like looks around and starts chuckling. He's like,
yes. Yeah, is he there the first time? But my part that makes me chuckle every time is after they defeat him and he falls and he takes his helmet off. I don't know why. It's just the way he delivers. It's like, does anyone have any orange slices?
Orange slices. Why does he? What does he ask for orange slices?
I don't know, because I was like he did a marathon or something.
Well, like
Yeah, that's
like
what I was
cracks
thinking.
me
Yeah.
up. It's just the way he says it is perfect.
as a kid when we played soccer, like at halftime we would all get orange slices.
Okay, that's what
it's like we all did a good job. You get an orange slice. we all played hard. You get an
You
orange
answered
slice.
that for the internet, because I bet a lot of people are wondering. Because I was like, wait, did you want a banana or a cup of water or something? This is orange slice. Perfect.
Orange slices
Gatorade.
is like the participation award of fruit of produce.
That's
I
so
just love
perfect
the
for
way he
him.
delivers. Does anyone have any orange slices? And then, because I just watch Ant. I don't know. He's just great.
Well, and I love when he first
Great.
turns into Giant Man.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, I can do this thing where I can, get really big
Yeah.
or whatever. And he's like, have you done it before? He's like, oh yeah, I do it all the time. Well, it was just that one time in a lab.
Yeah. He's pretty cavalier about it. And he's like, I've got a big thing, but I can't hold it very long.
And then I love Robert Downey Jr.'s line in that,
Oh,
like,
does anyone else have any
special abilities they're
powers
hiding.
we don't know about? Yeah. Oh, and even like when
He's all pissed about it.
he throws the truck at
Yeah.
War Machine.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah,
oh, come
yeah.
on! And the truck hits it.
Yeah.
Well,
He's like, I thought that was a water truck.
yeah, it
My bad.
explodes. And it's like,
I'm like, oh, that's a perfect line. Like a truck just appears out of nowhere. You're just like, oh, come on! Like,
Dude, fucking poor Rhodey, man. War Machine, I don't know. He gets shit on in all these movies. He was like one of my favorite kind of Iron Man suit type heroes, and in this movie he kind of gets shit on. There was a scene where he's starting to fight Giant Man, and he's like fucking pulling out all the stops. Like every gun on his body comes out, and in the theater I was like, do it, War Machine! And he doesn't. He shoots all his guns, but nothing happens.
I liked how when he was Giant Man, he was like he moved very slow.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah,
was,
I thought that was interesting. I thought that
trying
was
to
like
figure
an
out the
interesting
physics
choice.
of that, but yeah, I think it's like because I guess giants move slow in cartoons, but I don't know if it'd be that way in real life or not. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I was like mixed about it.
but it worked.
I liked it.
It worked.
No, I liked it because
yeah.
that's you got to figure that hummingbirds are very fast and they're very small, and you figure that the larger something is, the longer it would take it to move around, like turn around real quick or something. And I just thought that made, because you got to have some sort of weakness, and if he moved as fast as he did when he was big, then he'd be he wouldn't have the
Yeah, he wouldn't be stoppable.
he's got to have like an element that he can be stopped. And I love how Spider-Man takes him down in such a Star Wars reference.
yeah.
It's like, hey, have you guys seen that Star
Literally
Wars
reference.
movie?
Yeah,
And,
that old movie,
Says the Empire Strikes Back.
does he call it The Empire Strikes Back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he called it by name. I couldn't remember. But I
So
just thought it
exactly
was
how
great.
Justin just said it. You guys remember that old movie, Empire Strikes Back? Oh, I also love it. They're like, how old is this kid? And you think about it, like, so in real life, the actor plays, is it Tom Holland? Is that his name?
Yeah,
He's
like
only
17.
19.
Oh,
The rest
19?
of them are like
40.
35. I think Scarlett Johansson's like 32. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is like 49,
50.
50.
Yeah,
Like, they are all way old. I'm sure Don Cheadle's old. He's probably
50.
Like, yeah. He looks old in it too a little
He
bit.
does
Yeah,
look
he
old.
kind of he's
wrinkles
getting
on
up there. They all do.
But yeah, it's just like he is way younger than the rest of them.
And
Yeah.
like morally, like ethically, you know what I mean? It was almost like questioning like the ethics of it.
Yeah, like
because
should
he-
a kid be fighting
Yeah.
with all these adult superheroes?
Should we talk about Spider-Man now?
Oh yeah, because that to me,
Is that your best part?
dude, it sounds cliche to say it, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's fine. It was great.
'Cause
It would have
not-
been my best part, but I just like Ant-Man. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So-
I liked him a lot too.
One more point about Ant-Man is I think he was absolutely perfect in this film. Like he wasn't different. He was the same as he was in that movie. But in this world, you really get that contrast of like, oh, okay, because that's the way Paul Rudd played it, where he didn't take it seriously, and then you know what I mean. In the movie, that's all you got.
Even
was
in
that.
Ant-Man, when he's fighting Falcon, he's just like, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. I mean, it's like, wow, it's like it's like a comical fight the same way. Like, so
Yeah, and
they fit him
at
in.
the end, he's like, He's like, how about I just fought an Avenger and lived?
Yeah, yeah.
I have to go back and watch Ant-Man. I guess I don't remember him being as funny as he was in this movie, though. Maybe I
He might
missed
not
it.
have been, but
It's the same type of funny where he doesn't believe he can do the things and he does it. Like when they have him like jumping through the door, or like there's a theme scenes in the trailers too where she's like, "All right, punch me," and like he like holds his hands out and she just punches him in the face. He's just he's like, "I held the hand out. Why'd you hit me?"
Yeah.
Like, but like it is the same. Like I think you just have to rewatch it. It's probably
Yeah, I probably do need to go back and rewatch it.
It's funny. It's funny and entertaining. It's a good movie.
I like the dynamic that Falcon had with him where he kept calling him Tic Tac.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
Even
And
when he
it-
was
He
giant
had
man.
really good lines this whole movie too.
Yeah.
Like, this was like the second one that cracked me up. Like I love when so like they're in the car. He's like, "Can you move your seat up?" And he's like,
No.
and then
And then Bucky just slides over to the
Yeah.
middle, as we all do. Like when that one person slid back too far, you just slide to the middle to compromise.
He was fucking cool too. Like he's been kind of cool, but this time I was like, he's
was
legitimately
funnier.
fucking
That's
cool.
better lines. And then when him and Bucky are fighting Spider-Man, and then he uses Red Wing to like scoot Spider-Man away.
Yeah.
It's like, could you have done that? Bucky's like, could you have done that earlier? And he's just like, I hate you.
I hate you. Yeah.
Correct me. Like, I hate you. Because like you see them because like the characterization of both of them, they're kind of compete. It's like Captain America's old friend and his new friend, and so it's like there would be like
Yeah,
a
a
between
little rivalry.
I get like then they're always stuck together, and because it's like Falcon's like, I'm his new friend, and like he's like, we got to go find his old friend. Fuck that guy. I'm his new friend.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then he's always stuck with that guy, and then everything, the whole movie is all the Winter Soldier's fault. So it's like, fuck this guy. It's like, one,
Well, he doesn't,
I wanna
but
be
that's the thing.
and two, it's his fault. So,
But
it's
their
kinda-
relationship is such that he just follows his fucking word. He's like that tight with Captain America, and they like right from the jump, right when they were in Lagos, when he's like scouting from on top of the building, and they're all like, it's kind of tense. They don't know the situation yet. Captain America sees that dump truck, and he's like, "Move now!" And all the other players are kind of like apprehensive. And he's like, jump now, or go now, and then it switches to him just diving off of a fucking building, like immediately, like at his
dived
word.
a lot in this movie. I like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it was cool.
Cool thing to do when he just
And he
dives.
had, like,
off
his-
things. He turns
his
them off
wings-
last second.
Yeah, and he has like when he kicks that helicopter and he just about hits the ground.
Yeah.
But I liked his wing dynamics where he was like using them as shields and stuff. I thought that was
Carbon
cool.
fiber, right? That explains the weight to tensile strength ratio.
Yeah, he's like, you've never been in a fight before.
Yo, that's
usually
the
this
other
much
one. It's like,
talking.
you
Yeah.
there's not much talking.
Yeah. That was great. So yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I just want to say Justin got up to go pee right at
Oh,
the
he
Queen
did?
scene. Yeah.
I missed.
Oh, I thought you said he was get up to go pee now. What scene did
No.
you missed the whole Queen scene?
Well,
he missed
no,
like
no.
the intro a little
Yeah,
bit.
I went back and watched some of that today, and I saw the.
You're all caught up.
Yeah, I watched that scene. So, but yeah, that part where just Tony's sitting in the room with Aunt May, and
Yeah.
By the
you
way,
can
See
I
them
didn't
play
know
together.
when they announced that Marissa Tomei was going to be Aunt May. I felt bad for her because I'm like, oh, they're going to make her old. She's still a good-looking woman. She's the one
yeah,
George Costanza had a crush on her, and like maybe she got a little George Costanza thing. It was like, yeah, but because I get a little Marissa Tomei thing.
yeah.
There's our Seinfeld reference
There
for the
it
week.
is.
But,
Every show.
But it makes sense. Like, why would a 16-year-old have an
Exactly.
80-year-old aunt?
Yeah, like it makes more sense than the comic. Even it's just like they've thought about this more than Stan Lee did. Like, what a great thing! It's like he has a hot aunt and stuff, and like
And-
I just
and
thought
not
it was
only that-
awesome, just amazing, amazing, and
Tony Stark's-
spectacular.
and Tony Stark's calling it out too, like in the movie,
Yeah.
so they're like kind of self-aware.
Yeah, you're
Like,
hot.
oh, you have a hot aunt. Yeah.
It's like we come in all
Awesome.
shapes.
So
Yeah, she does say that.
One of my
That's funny.
favorite interactions between those two came when they were in the bedroom, and he said he's trying to recruit him, and he asks him, he says, "Why do you do this?" And he's like, "Well, when you have these abilities and you don't do them or you don't use them, and then the bad things happen, it's your fault," which echoes fucking Captain America's words straight to Iron Man, and here's this innocent kid.
Is it? When does he say that? When does Cap say that? I don't remember that.
He doesn't say that. He says they're going to make us. Captain says they're going to make us fight wars we don't want to fight, and they're not going to let us fight wars we do want to fight. So he's basically saying they're going to make us stand on the sidelines while bad shit happens, and it's going to be our fault. And so that's a counterpoint to Iron Man. And while Iron Man's trying to recruit Peter Parker says that to him. But because he like doesn't want to get into politics with him, all he wants is his muscle. Like if Captain America knew about him first, he would be all over. Like Spider-Man would be on his side, which is what fucking happens in the comic book. So they kind of allude to that.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
I'm with you there. That's a nice insight.
And another parallel between the book and the movie where Iron Man intervenes and gives Spider-Man his tech and his suit.
Oh, that too. Which I like how they did it in
comic.
this, where it's like more it's like in his origin, he gives him his suit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is, because previously he's like swinging around New York in his like sweatpants, basically,
and,
like those goggles, and he's like, "How can you even see out of these?" I thought that was really cool. And then when Spider-Man shows up,
shitty Iron Man or shitty Spider-Man costume.
Dude, I love when he's like, "What's your name?" What does he say? So it's like, what does he say to him?
He's like, Spider Guy, Spider... He's
Spider Boy?
Spiderling.
Yeah.
Well, like, also, like, in all the other Spider-Man movies, he has this amazing costume. It's like, well, he just sewed that himself.
Yeah,
and this one,
that's true.
It's like, oh, that makes sense. Like, Tony Stark made it. Just like they made all the other Avengers uniforms and stuff, like, whatever. Like, he had people make it, not like, how did he just sew it himself, this high-tech costume? It's good, because the costume he had himself was shitty and looked homemade, and then he gave him a cool one. Like, they're doing it again. They're doing it better.
I'm trying real hard to make a spinning webs, spinning threads joke, and my brain just can't do it. So moving on.
But
he's a seamstress.
I love that scene too, where he's in the room talking to him. They're having that moment, and I don't know. I thought it was like a cool recruitment kind of thing where you kind of understand where. Oh, also. That intro to this scene was so funny, and that's the part that I missed at the theaters, where Tony Stark's like, "Yeah, I'm here about the grant." And he's like winking out of both eyes.
Like both eyes.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm here about that grant you applied for."
Oh, I didn't catch that.
It's funny. But yeah, I thought they had a good relationship, and kind of bonded.
I mean, just fucking perfect.
Like
smart ass Tony Stark talking to smart ass Peter Parker is and like kind of not confident young Peter Parker. Fucking perfect.
And not to kind of shit on the other two guys who were Spider-Man previously, but I think that we can all agree that this is a great casting choice. For Spider-Man.
Those other movies were shit.
Like, we haven't even gotten a full-blown Spider-Man. Oh, did you find it? Hey, did you find it as a little bit of an Easter egg, perhaps? That
Homecoming.
Homecoming was one of the trigger words for Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I did think that.
I don't know if it's so much of an Easter egg as subliminal messages hidden throughout.
Subliminal advertising.
Yeah. One of the other ones was Freight Car, and he fell off the train in Captain America 1.
That's right, dude. I was trying to connect that, and I was like, I know that connects somewhere, and I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because wasn't December 7th, 1961 or something? Wasn't one of those numbers part of the sequence too? I was trying to like pick each one and figure out where they came from, but I couldn't remember all the...
I think they were all words.
Yeah, it was like one. I bet I can Google it. Yeah. Freight Car.
Yeah.
Benign.
Freight Car. Yeah, Benign was one of them too.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't pick up. But yeah, back to Spider-Man. So then he shows up.
I got it. You want me to read them off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Longing. But pretend I'm saying them in Russian though, and then it's subtitled what I'm actually saying. Okay? Just pretend that. So.
Logging?
Longing. Rusted. Furnace. Daybreak. 17. Benign. 9. Homecoming. 1. Freight Car.
Ready to comply.
Mission report. Nice.
Now we're all brainwashed.
Yeah, now I'm killing people.
Control of the podcast.
I'm doing a podcast and I'm killing people at the same time.
But yeah, Spider-Man's intro, I didn't know how that, like, in the trailer, I didn't know how that felt, because Tony Stark's got a big shiner on his face in the trailer when Spider-Man, when he calls out Underoos. And so I'm like, oh, maybe they've already been fighting, and he brings in Spider-Man as, like, the extra muscle or backup or whatever. But he brings him in right away, just when Captain America won't comply. That's when he's like, all right, I've had enough of this Underoos.
Why does he have a shiner? Because he had the black eye when he went to his house, when he was in Queens.
Did they fight before?
Who did they fucking fight?
Somebody.
They fought Winter Soldier in the lobby.
Oh, that's right. When they're trying to catch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just has
almost
that hand.
shoots him in the face.
Yeah. He like slugs him a couple times, and he was out. And then
I think he pistol whips him. Because
he rips the gun apart and he smiles at him, and then he pistol whips him and punches him in the gut.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was a cool intro to Spider-Man. And
Underoos.
And then he's just like, sorry, I stuck the landing, and the suit's new. It's a little tight. I was like, whoa, wait, I wasn't making fun of the suit, Mr. Stark. The suit's great. It's just like,
we're not trying to start a conversation.
Please. Yeah, just nervous, filling in the space.
I think so I just want to say this is my favorite Spider-Man part that I think demonstrates him being a kid and being a wise ass and kind of being out of his element a little bit, was when he's in the airport and he's fighting Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Falcon scoops him up and he's flying away with him, and Spider-Man's like, you have the right to remain silent. That for me was like the epitome of what I needed out of Spider-Man. It was perfect.
Like, he just doesn't know what to say, so just saying things sound right.
Yeah, I love that part.
Immediately after catching his fist, he's like, well, you have a metal arm? That's so cool.
Right.
Falcon flies in and hits him. So it was like those two fucking awesome lines right in a row.
And then I think they threw a car at him, and he catches it and throws it back.
Hey, he's like, this belongs to you. Or I think he lost his buddy.
Yeah. Like, seeing a small little kid throwing cars around, it was just awesome.
Just talking shit, just like that.
Yeah. I'm like really excited about the Spider-Man movie now.
This is the other thing, is I didn't realize this till the Fat Man and Batman pointed out. They're like, it's like, so you know how like Spider-Man's always from New York City, right? Like, this is the first time they gave him a Queens accent. I'm like, he does have an actual downstate accent. Like, it's like they never had an accent before. I'm just like, that's why it's perfect. They paid attention to every detail.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even have it in the cartoon.
No, yeah, they said it's like nothing in the and they're like, he's always middle aged in the cartoon too. Even they just want to get away from him being a teenager as soon as possible. So like,
it's
this is a
because
very
that's
cool
like
Spider-Man.
big audience that age.
Dude, that's who you're bringing to the theaters that age.
Right.
But
so let's talk about Black Panther now.
Well,
we kind of covered Spider-Man.
I want to say a couple more things about Spider-Man real quick. Just like, again, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan in the world. Not fan, but just not had the history of Marvel like you guys do. But demonstrating the strength of Spider-Man, like where he's fighting Captain America and holding his own, was pretty awesome. Just seeing how strong, like, he's as strong as Captain America, basically.
he's stronger, but he's not as good as a fighter. And I think they demonstrated
especially at this age.
Yeah, because Captain America definitely gets the best of him. And then jumping way ahead to the end of the movie, that end of credits scene where he's in his room and he's playing around with the gadget that Iron Man obviously gave him, and Aunt May comes in. She's like, "Oh, what happened to your eye?" And he's like, "Oh, I got in a fight with this guy named Steve from
at school."
From Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn,
That was great.
Yeah, but you were talking about demonstrating how young he is.
Yeah.
He webs up his legs and kind of trips up Captain America, and he says, first he says, Iron Man's Tony Stark said you would say that, after some comment that Captain America said, and then he webs his legs up and kind of trips him, and he says he also said to go for your legs, and immediately after saying that, he webs him in the arms, and that's when Captain America gets the upper hand. He's like, so I guess kind of upper body strength or something. So it's like, you just took the advice from Tony Stark to go for his legs, and then you went against it and went for his arms and lost. Got your ass beat.
Yeah, the inexperience, right?
He twisted him funny, because like Captain America's like one of the best fighters in the Marvel universe. Like, Probably him, Wolverine, and I don't know, whatever. But like Iron Fist, I don't know. But like, I think that's where he gains the upper hand on Spider-Man. It's just like he knows how to move his body and fight better. It's just like
Yeah, he's a better
faster
tactician
thinker and
too.
stuff. Yeah.
Because
Oh.
he defeats him, he just incapacitates him. He doesn't like
Yeah.
want to hurt him, obviously, so he just
Yeah.
kind of drops that.
He's like, I
tunnel
know
on
he's strong, so I'll throw my shield and break this thing, and he'll be occupied
Yeah.
for a while.
him. And then they had that line where he's like, "Where you
Yeah.
from, kid?" He's like, "You got hurt. Where you from, kid?" The Queens. He's like, "Heh, Brooklyn."
Brooklyn. I love it, like when he says
Yeah.
Brooklyn, like he looks like he's tickled by it. He like chuckles and like
Yeah.
he skips away. Like he does a little hop skip, like watch it again. He's like, Brooklyn. He does a little skip and like walks away. Just watch it when you see it again. You'll see it. He's like, he's like, oh.
Yeah, he does. Like he does that like getting ready to run hop. That,
Yeah.
like, that. Yeah. So he literally does skip away.
Yeah, Queens.
So, what did you guys think of Black Panther?
I think his name's kind of repetitive. I mean, shouldn't he be African Panther? Like we get he's black, he's Panther, but like aren't all Panthers black? So
Panthers are black. Yeah.
shouldn't he just be Panther?
Panther.
Like isn't it?
Is that
Or just
It's not Black Falcon or Black Iron Man.
well? Actually, who
Yeah.
Lucky, was it you that was telling
My
us about
nephew.
Black
I
Falcon?
was like playing like one of the Marvel games on my iPad, and he's like, "Oh, be Black Falcon." I'm like, "It's just Falcon." He's like, "Yeah, the black one though." I'm like, "All right, I don't know where you got this racism from." He's like 4. I was like, "Okay, Black Falcon."
they learn easy. They learn quick.
well, it's got to be confusing, right? Because you got Black Panther
Black
and
Panther?
regular
Oh, yeah.
Falcon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. What about Black Widow then? She's clearly white. What do we do with that one?
Yeah.
Recast
Is
it.
There's
more
there's
whitewashing.
Black Manta, DC universe.
There is Black Manta.
Oh,
So
but I thought he was great. It's funny. I kind of wish they had an African actor because I found he's just an American guy doing an African accent. It's like, oh, that will.
Oh, I thought so,
authenticity's
too.
Go away to me.
is he?
Man, I thought he did good though.
Is he African?
No, he did. Well, I mean, he's American black.
Yeah.
The thing is, like sometimes there's
The guy that
there's
plays his
accents.
dad is actually South African though.
Oh,
And I
okay.
guess he taught him that language. That's a South African language. So it's a real language they're speaking.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I was gonna say sometimes when you hear like there's certain accents. I think Russian and African or like South African. Those
Like
two
African
accents-
from Africa.
Yeah, they sound fake whenever somebody's doing it until you hear it actually being spoken.
Yeah, you're like,
next
stop
to it,
making
and
fun of African people.
Yeah, then you're like, oh wait, that's exactly how it sounds.
Please,
So
not
it's-
make fun of the Black Panther. He is, he is our king and our hero. And I just mixed up like a little stereotypical Japanese in there.
you rolled your R a little bit.
No,
Not bad though.
it's great. And what is that made by the South Park guys? The Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
They do this whole song from Africa, and
Asadiga Ibawai.
Asadiga Ibowai. It means fuck you, God. Great song. Anyway, yeah.
Dude, one of my favorite scenes with those three, with Iron Man, or I'm sorry, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Black Panther, was that after the rooftop chase. Well, actually, I guess during it too. Is every time like Captain and Winter Soldier would land, it would be like this thud and this like kind of clumsy thud, and then they would run and they had to jump down into those tunnels and it was like a clumsy thud. But right after they would do it, you would hear, you would see Black Panther land and you wouldn't hear a sound because his whole suit's made out of vibranium.
I
And
didn't
so like the
notice that.
soles, yeah, so the soles of his feet were just like you wouldn't hear shit. It was like they highlighted it. Like you probably wouldn't notice it if it was just him doing that, but they highlighted it by having Captain and Winter Soldier just thudding. You know what I mean? It was super
I'll
cool.
buy your vibranium theory, but I also think maybe he's because he has cat-like reflex. Maybe he's just moves
Yeah,
like
he
a cat,
lands soft.
silent and stuff as well too, or
Well,
both.
I think that's yeah. Well, what was funny is in Captain America: Winter Soldier, he's getting shot in the shield, and the whole thing about vibranium is that it absorbs vibrations, and so
Yeah.
there wouldn't be a sound, but you hear like the
Ting, 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 ting,
stereotypical
ting.
yeah,
Yeah,
you hear,
and
like,
then
the
in,
bong.
the first Avengers movie when Thor hits the hammer,
Yeah.
it vibrates so
Yeah.
much it makes that shockwave.
Yeah,
They're a little
Yeah.
inconsistent with how they treat vibranium in this movie universe.
yeah.
Come on, Marvel.
Terrible
Get your shit
movies.
together.
vibranium.
These movies are the worst because they
giving it a
don't.
3.
They're inconsistent about vibranium.
I'm writing to the editor about this one.
I think my favorite part that just made you realize that Black Panther's a total badass, and at least his suit is awesome, is when he scratches claw marks in the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, all that Captain America's been through, his shield is pretty resilient. Like you said, Thor hits it, it's fine. All these other things that have happened, and
it just gets dirty. The paint chips off it, but it's like real damage to it, though.
Right.
But like vibranium nails across the vibranium shield.
Well,
holy shit.
Here's one other question I have for you guys because I didn't quite get this. Bucky is the Winter Soldier, and as the Winter Soldier, he has a metal arm.
Yeah,
and he's a high level assassin, and he can kill people. How's he super fast?
He's got. Go ahead.
You got this one, Ben, or you want me to get it? You got it, or
you go ahead. I'll back you up.
So when
I feel teamed up on.
It's not.
Yeah.
This is the best friend Civil War.
They actually showed it in this movie.
Well, yeah, in this movie, and then so in Captain America, the First Avenger, Bucky gets captured, and Cap has to rescue them. During that time frame, it was what was that? Oh, are you guys still here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
I left because I wasn't. I don't want to be attacked by both you and Ben, so I left.
I got like a Facebook Messenger call. It made a weird sound effect, so I was like, "What?" In the movie, and they explain it too. So the Germans experiment on Bucky. So like they might have used some kind of prototype soldier serum on it to experiment on him.
Yeah, they were trying to replicate it.
So that's why he has some superpowers and stuff.
Okay, I'll buy it. I think
is that what you were gonna say, Ben, or were you gonna say?
Yeah, it's like a fucked up version of the super soldier serum. It doesn't work as well. He's not as strong as Cap.
It's like instead of Mountain Dew, it's Mountain Lightning. It's like the generic version.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah, okay. He got super soldier serum light.
Yeah, and then so did those 5 assassins in Civil War.
All right,
it was kind of like the same.
So anyway, well that chase scene was great. My favorite part of that though was when Bucky, Winter Soldier, grabs the motorcycle with his arm.
Oh yeah,
and like rips the guy off of it, and then swings it around and jumps right back on it. Yeah, in one move. Yeah, so awesome. Love that part.
It does like the bass drop.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Or even when like Cap goes to rescue him in his apartment before the GSG guy, the German, or is it Belgian? Where are they in? No, they're in Hungary, right?
I don't know.
One?
Whatever country in Europe they're
Bucharest.
in. Bucharest, yeah, Hungary. Like they're already like in sync fighting in there, and it, like even like the fight, like Bucky's like, I'm not gonna kill anyone, and then at one point they're fighting, and then like he drops the guy and catches him from falling down the stairs, and he just looks at Bucky's like, come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
Like, said we're gonna kill anyone. Right. Come on. Like,
speaking of which, Daredevil did it first.
Oh, okay.
That whole fight scene.
Yep, that basically is the same thing. Got to keep this killer from killing people. Just
that whole stairwell fight scene, going down the stairwell.
Oh, that's true too. Okay.
Yeah.
In Daredevil,
that too.
I like it better. So in Daredevil, it's even a little more complicated because it's all one shot. It's like a Scorsese shot. And,
yeah.
So I don't know if it's the special effects or whether they filmed it better or if it's coordinated better. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I'll give the points to that one.
Yeah.
A lot of cuts, a lot of jump cuts in the Captain America fight scene.
Dude, in that same scene after he steals that motorcycle, he's leaving the tunnel. He throws a bomb up above it to kind of stop everyone from chasing him. Yeah. And everybody does something fucking cool right then. Yeah. Bucky just ripped that motorcycle. Black Panther climbs over the car and jumps through the explosion and all the rubble just to get a swipe at the tire.
Right.
Captain America turns, he cuts the wheel and hits all that rubble. And before the car fucking flips over, he just hops out and just hits the ground running literally. Yeah, literally. And tackles the dude who's about to, start fucking up Bucky.
And he's like outrunning the car as it's tumbling towards him, which is just awesome.
Holy shit. They were all just on vehicles a second ago, and now they're on their feet fighting,
Yeah. Black Panther's triple kick at the airport was awesome too.
Yeah, that like midair.
Yeah, he like spin triple kicks. Who was he fighting?
Cap Shield, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Or no, was that? What did he do it to? Yeah, that was Cap Shield. Yeah, because then later on he fights Hawkeye, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Clint." He's like, "I don't care."
Speaking of Hawkeye, I don't know. I felt like he was kind of just shoehorned in, and I had another like questionable moment about the movie where I just didn't get it, and maybe I'm stupid. So feel free to jump on me here, but Scarlet Witch and the Vision are in the safe house or whatever, and there's like a big explosion outside, and then like Vision goes through the wall to go check it out or whatever, and 1 second later Hawkeye's like in the room. So what was that explosion? Just a diversion?
That was Hawkeye, yeah.
But what did he do?
He's like...
I don't know. I don't know. It's fine, I guess. But
he rigged up... He made some Drano bombs, and he put them in a propane.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, all right. I don't know why there's a big explosion. Seems like... I don't know. Whatever.
I have a prediction. Lucky has muted it, and he's eating air crisp.
Huh? No, someone sent me a
okay.
serious text, that's all.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
For
that
what?
was it. That Lucky muted it to eat air crisp.
Huh? Oh, no, I was here the whole time. I was just reading.
Yeah.
Unrelated stuff.
But yeah, if that was just a distraction, just to get the Vision to chase, go. Oh, I need to go investigate.
Oh, Hawkeye. Yeah. I think it was an EMP thing or something with the two arrows.
Oh, yeah. That. No,
that.
he's talking about the explosions that occur.
There's like
outside.
a giant explosion outside, and then the Vision's like, oh, I'm gonna go check this out, and then Hawkeye's
in
the house.
You know what? It was actually like an airstrike because you hear an airplane go over, and it was 2 bombs. So I don't know if that was. Know. And he's a pilot, so maybe he.
Oh, is he? I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me.
Could have also worked with Falcon, but I haven't
maybe
that
Falcon
out.
did it. Yeah.
Confused.
Yeah, it could have been Falcon.
Because I just remember like alarms going off, Vision leaving, and then Hawkeye shows up. He does his little arrow things for when the Vision comes back, and then like he throws a knife at his head.
Yeah.
Or no. Scarlet Witch throws. He like.
Oh, that's right. You're right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
And she totally owns the Vision. That's what.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, she like. I think she goes a little overboard. I'm like, oh, he's going like into the floor,
center of the earth.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah.
I thought so too when I first saw it, but when you think about it, like she's not going to kill him doing that.
Right.
But she also needs to get him the fuck away. So she basically buries him to the core.
He does have an infinity gem in his head. So.
Yeah, and he could like after she was done, he was probably already on his way back because he can just phase through shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So the fight at the airport was awesome. I think we all agree on that. What did you guys think of like kind of the Lucky? You totally predicted this and called the end of the movie basically.
I didn't think it would hinge on that though. I knew. Like I didn't think the final fight would hinge on it, but yeah, the Winter Soldier killed Howard Stark and his wife. He killed my mom.
Yeah, that was an awesome line. I don't care. He killed my mom.
Yeah,
it carried more weight in this than Batman v Superman, though, because like, well, actually, Batman's parents were killed, but like, it's like his chance to confront the killer, like right here, and he's like, "Fuck this guy," just like.
Yeah, like,
and then also he's like betrayed by Captain America for keeping it from him, and then you're like, wait, I'm your friend, you're keeping that information from me to save your other friend? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's the buildup is great because it's like it makes so much sense emotionally, like from different perspectives. It's like, okay, I get why he would be mad at Captain America for lying, and he already wants to kill the Winter Soldier for actually killing his parents and stuff too.
And it was hard to root for any of them. It was hard to root against any of them.
That's
like you wanted Iron Man to get vengeance, kind of, but you also wanted him to calm down.
And you're just like, I don't want my friends to fight. None of them just don't understand each other.
It was such an emotional scene.
They don't make it like no, you don't hate anyone or you don't like anyone. Like you don't want to take sides in this movie. Like even with the
Yeah.
the registration act is like you want like before you see the movie, you're like, man, I want to hate Iron Man. Obviously, it's a cat movie. I'm gonna like him, but like, that woman confronts him in the beginning, like you killed my son and stuff.
And then you
mean,
go, oh,
no,
okay, yeah.
yeah, and he like broke up with Pepper Potts and everything, and so you're like, oh, I get it. He's in a bad place, and he's just trying to do good, and, trying to write one thing at a time, and you're like, okay, the whole fight makes sense. It's just good writing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a good reason that they had to fight, and like you said, that I thought that just added another element of continuing the fight because they had enough of a reason to be at odds with
another parallel,
the Sokovia Accords, but then then you throw in
Yeah,
Captain America held the
up.
secret,
Yeah.
Winter Soldier killed his parents, and another great reason to just continue fighting. So
in Batman vs Superman, Lex Luthor is like he's kind of the Zemo, where he's like
Yeah, a
adding
little
an
bit,
extra
right.
reason, but his was like,
Sorta.
yeah, it was like I'm taking your original reason to fight, I'm throwing it in the trash, and now I'm your new reason to fight, and it just didn't work. And then in this, Zemo, I watched it a second time because I had a big problem with this. I had the first viewing, and I watched it a second time, and I realized he wasn't predicting any of this. He wasn't
He
masterminding
was just
any of
using
it.
backup plans.
Yeah, every
keep
scene, every scene that like the final scene that he wanted everybody to be at. He wanted Cap, Winter Soldier, and Iron Man to be there at that 5. Like he knew that those would draw him in, those 5 super soldiers. And then he had that videotape. He had to obtain it. That's what his mission was to obtain that videotape and to also
That's
obtain,
right.
like,
You're right. He didn't even care about the soldiers. He just wanted to get there to take.
yeah, they were kind of a red herring and everything, but
But the whole
when you
movie, he's
first-
asking about that night for that
Yeah.
report.
yeah.
and
stuff.
and everything that happens where it's like, okay, he could have been captured here, he could have been captured here. He doesn't care about the Accords. He wasn't trying to set the Accords up or anything like that. He just wanted them in that room. So when it looks like he's masterminding this, he's not. He's like improvising. And when you watch it, you see him improvising all along. Like at one point, Captain America and Winter Soldier figure out about the 5. Well, he realizes Iron Man doesn't believe Captain America about this. And he wants Iron Man to believe Captain America. So what does he do? He calls up the hotel and says, hey, I want coffee. He calls up room service to his
Right.
hotel. He's no longer in the hotel.
He
and then,
wants
and
them
then
to discover the dead body.
yeah, the dead
Yeah,
body
you're
and his
right.
mask and his Winter Soldier mask. Yeah. So like the first viewing, I had a huge problem. Like, how is he? All he is this dad who's pissed off, and somehow I guess he's got a background. He's
Can I
got
say some-
patience.
Something else about
Go
him
ahead.
too. I love the way they built him up too. Is like when he's listening to that recording. Like, when did
That
you guys figure
voicemail.
out? When did you figure out that was a voicemail? Because I didn't figure it out till like
Oh.
the halfway through the movie. I'm like, oh shit!
I think
Literally the second viewing.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Dude, I thought somehow I'm like, who is
you
that
thought
his-
she was just calling him every day and telling him about
the
Like-
same message over.
Dude, no, I didn't realize it was the same message because I think they would play different parts here and there. So I thought it was like, I don't know what I thought it was, like a sister or something who was like helping him mastermind, or like, having him under the thumb, like, you better do this for our family, you piece of shit or something.
so perfect because he just keeps listening to it and like
Yep.
then the end he finally deletes it when he thinks his mission is over.
Right.
Yeah.
Panther confronts him and it's just perfect.
Yeah,
So
I
this-
like
what
that
a
a
great
lot.
device. Just like, because you're like, what is that message? Who keeps calling him all the time? You're like, oh Jesus, they're dead. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that
I'll
was
be
great.
honest. I think I noticed it like the second time he's in like a public place and he's listening to it, and that's when I was like, hey, I think that's the same the same phone call that he was on before. I'm like, oh wait, that's not a phone call. He's listening to a message over and over again.
See, I didn't
That's where I
even pay
started to
attention
piece
to
that
shit.
together a little bit. But then, yeah, what confirmed it is obviously at the end where you see that he's got the delete message up on the
message deleted.
voicemail. And he's about to kill himself and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
um,
And that dude, fucking, what's his name? Chadwick Boseman.
yeah,
Did I get that right?
yeah.
His acting and it's like Black Panther's fucking cool and everything, but T'Challa, I always reverse that.
Shala.
Yeah, he's awesome at it. I don't know, just his acting and like you're really like, I don't know.
By the way,
when he-
like He looks way younger than he is. When I saw
I
how
thought
old
so
he is,
too.
I'm like, what the fuck? He
How
only
old
looks like
is he?
he's 25
He's
or
like
something.
39, right?
Yeah.
Holy
yeah.
shit!
Just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Crazy, man.
I thought the exact same thing.
Did you guys
Oh,
get
no.
like a little Bruce Lee feeling
Wait,
from
hold
him
on.
too?
How old is he? I'm gonna find this out. If it's the
think-
last thing I do.
He's 39 or 40. I remember he was just pushing 40 or something. So.
Yeah, he is. He's 39.
Holy shit!
Which, yeah, I would assume he's 27.
That kind of
Yeah.
makes more sense though, because his acting craft is pretty honed. I was like, that's kind of like when you see somebody that young acting that well, you're like, what the hell?
I don't know if I can say this because I'm not black, but you know what they say though: black
don't crack.
Black don't crack. So
Well,
That's-
just
that's
say you're
why-
quoting Bill Burr. Bill Burr says all the time. We're just quoting Bill Burr. That's
yeah,
all.
there you go.
You gotta put the lotion on.
The
that's
lotion.
That's why you gotta hang out. Yes, the black people with the
You're
lotion
ashy. We're all ashy.
on. We're all ashy. You just don't know it. That's why you gotta hang out with other people. It's perfect. It's true though. It's like
It
you
is
just gotta
true.
put wrinkles on. You won't get crow's feet as fast. Just put some lotion on your face. It's all the secret's cocoa butter, folks.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Or else
That
it
simple.
cracks. Again.
But yeah, he was great.
He does. You know what he does well is eyebrow acting. Next time you watch it, watch his eyebrows. You'll be like, how does the eyebrow act?
Watch his
Yeah.
eyebrows.
Yeah. Next time you guys are like, what's eyebrow acting? And then you're gonna watch this movie again, and you're gonna go, oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch Civil War to watch eyebrows.
I heard this movie's got some great eyebrow acting.
Yeah.
That's what all of our listeners are thinking to themselves.
That's why it's made $500 million because of great eyebrow acting.
Well, they even mention eyebrows in it when Baron Zemo says to Captain America, "Oh, I see a clay in your eyebrow." Or actually,
Yeah.
it's a Russian accent, not a German accent, but
Yeah.
Uh.
Whatever the hell it is. That dude's fucking phenomenal. Back to the villain.
because I was trying to remember what other movie he was in, and it's like a random movie.
Inglorious Bastards.
That's what
he
it
was
is.
the
Tarantino. He's
he was
the actor, or
Yeah.
no, the
he was
German
the sniper
hero.
hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Who actually played himself in the biopic they
Yeah,
were doing.
the German Audie Murphy, whatever. he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, he was good in that too. I think he was speaking German, so hell knows. Horrible.
So where? I
what
mean,
else?
I guess that's it, right? That's pretty much the movie.
Yeah, how did you guys feel about like just the final ending of it? Like, because to me, it's
thought it
more
was great.
setting up.
I even like that he sent that letter. It was just perfect. I was like, okay, like, because you know, like I'm gonna feel depressed at this movie. I'm like, oh, the Avengers all hate each other now. But like, it was like, yeah, it's like if you need me, give me a call. And like, oh, there's still hope. There's that. But
Yeah.
like even all the things like Cap was saying, it's just like, oh, he kind of. I mean, they didn't reconcile each other, but like that is them basically reconcile because Captain like reconciles himself, and he's like, you know, I thought I was protecting you by not telling you, but like I realized I was protecting myself. And
Yeah,
it's like
I thought that was a cool realization
Yeah.
by Captain America, and
Yeah.
that guy's been like, you know, he's Captain America. He's like the cookie cutter perfect man, right? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And for
yeah.
him to basically admit that he was protecting his own emotional baggage, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, like this guy does
Yeah.
have a fault, you know.
Yeah.
So that was,
Yeah,
I
that-
thought that was really cool.
Yeah, rare misstep by Captain America.
Yeah.
He's usually listening to his moral compass is real strong, and there it wasn't.
Exactly. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that part.
Well, this is the thing about the ending is that the Accords are still on.
Yep.
Winter Soldier's still alive. You know, we know that he gets frozen.
He's
and everything,
frozen.
So
Yeah.
basically,
And Wakanda.
every conflict in the movie is not resolved, but it resolved? Question mark.
Yeah, well, so that's what's
Tune in
like.
next time to the Avengers.
And that's what, you know what?
Hero.
And on the first viewing, that's what I was kind of feeling. Like the second time I watched it, I felt like, yeah, okay, everything, I get it now. Because the red herring threw me off. The 5 assassins, I thought we were going to get more movie there. The
Me
second
too,
time around,
yeah.
obviously, I know about the red herring, so I was able to kind of follow along better. The second time, like second viewing, I think it got, I don't know, 3 times better.
Yeah,
But on the first viewing, there, you feel like you're conditioned to feel like, just from Hollywood, just from watching movies throughout the years, you're conditioned to feel like there's supposed to be a little bit more movie or some sort of resolve. And they kind of, and movies are doing that nowadays, where it's like, okay, here's a book, we're gonna make a lot of money off of it. We're gonna make a part one. We're gonna make a part two. Well, part two ends fine, but part one ends at some kind of arbitrary point. No, not even a cliffhanger. Here's what a cliffhanger does: it ends and it highlights a question, and at the end of the movie, you're shocked and you know exactly what question. Every person in the audience is asking the same question because that's what the movie wants you to ask. At the end of this like weird arbitrary midpoint ending, you're left to like gather the questions. So as you're busy gathering these questions, you have no time to react emotionally. So there's no emotional reaction, which is kind of what you're supposed to do with the movie is react. You're like actively seeking out questions at the end of these like arbitrarily ended movies.
Yeah.
Which, and I don't think like
what movie?
There's
you have an example?
Okay, the Mockingbird, Jay, whatever that.
Oh, I haven't seen any
Hunger
of those
Games.
ones.
The Hobbit. They split the Hobbit up into all those.
Okay, I got you. The Hobbit.
As soon as like that bird or no, the dragon, the movie was over. Like you're building up.
Smaug.
Yeah, he
Smaug.
comes up out of the castle.
Yeah.
And then the movie just ends.
And then you're like, okay,
oh.
wait. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't like a mystery.
Okay.
So you weren't kind of
I get what
gathering
you're
questions. Yeah. So it's not a cliffhanger, and I don't think that we're conditioned as an audience to kind of accept these movies or even like emotionally go on that ride to where by the time it ends, you understand it, you feel it, you're there, you're kind of like crescendoing with it. And I felt the first viewing with Civil War, I felt that, but the second time, I was right along with it.
Yeah. For me,
it made a nice movie.
When it ended, yeah, I guess I was expecting more of a resolve, because I mean, the book, hey, not to go to the book, but the book does end. They're all fighting.
Ends, yeah, there's a resolve.
Yeah, they're all fighting, and Captain America's like, oh my gosh, I see what we're doing. I see the destruction. I'm going to turn myself in. And, that's kind of the end. And in this movie, Civil War, Captain America's like, no, I'm still opposed to the Sokovia Accords, and I'm going to keep doing my thing, and I'm going to show up on the raft, and I'm going to bust everybody out. We're going to keep going. So,
and it's a setup. Yeah, it's a setup for the next movie.
If you think about it like this, that happens in the middle of the Civil War, the comic book, and then they all assume stupid fake identities, like Captain America is like he grows a mustache and is like the security guy and stuff. So think about it like that. I mean, you can't make it exactly the same.
But that's exactly exactly what I was saying though, where they would end it arbitrarily in the middle of a book, and that's where that emotion.
There are also like different driving forces in that movie. Like their last fight is in the middle of New York City, and like because you see the civilian casualties and stuff, and that's why Cap gives up because he's like, wait, what are we fighting for? They were supposed to be protecting these people. So like the ending for this makes sense for the movie and the situation they're in to me, and like so it's a good story because you start and the heroes are all one way. If you think of like the Avengers as a character, and they go on the journey, and then they're changed in the end, and then it leaves you in a nice place where like this is the end of the action, but like things have changed though, and so
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Here.
It was more about the personal journeys of each character rather than the story arc. It was just like, here's a story that these people go through, and this is how they changed by the end.
Yeah, and I see this movie having long-lasting impact on all the next movies that we'll get.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Because there's a lot of movies coming out between now and Infinity Wars. Yeah. Like certainly the Black Panther movie comes out. We're gonna get
Guardians
Doctor Strange,
2.
Guardians 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Whose side is Doctor Strange gonna be on? Or like, I mean, he doesn't have to pick a side anymore, but it's like,
well, see, Doctor Strange
gonna be
kind of
secret, or what's he gonna do?
I think he'll have no side because Doctor Strange in the book had no side really. He never got involved.
Oh, he was just meditating the whole time.
Yeah, he just sat there with Uatu.
But they're gonna need him for Infinity War, so he's gonna have some connection at some point.
Yeah, that's where they'll introduce Thanos as like this tremendous threat, and he'll say, "Oh yeah, I got to get involved now."
We all have to pull together. Like that's what's going to pull them back together. And I think part one is going to be largely more of Civil War. Like we're going to see more Civil War going on.
Yeah. And that's the thing. This movie, I guess I expected a resolve, and I didn't get a full resolve. But what we got was how this is going to impact the movies moving forward. Yeah. And so it's a good setup movie, and that's what this is. And I think that's part of it too, though, is that being that this Marvel cinematic universe is so deep and so rich with, again, I think this is the 13th movie. You're expecting these movies to not be a jump off point, but to me this movie struck me as a jump off point for like the Russo's version of, things moving forward.
Yeah, but not to belittle it because it's still a great standalone movie.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I just want to be clear about. I said I like this movie. I probably need to see it again. I think that would help because again, I'm looking for the resolve. I'm looking for all those things. Then when it didn't happen, the movie ended. I was like, huh.
Oh, me and you. I mean, we watched the movie together and we had kind of the same reaction.
We weren't like, huh.
Oh, yeah. But yeah,
so that's the end.
A second viewing is going to help you out.
Yeah. Oh, we're also going to get... Okay, so here, real quick, here's the timeline of movies coming out. November 4th, 2016, Doctor Strange. May 5th, 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
So this isn't going to affect either of those that much.
Probably not.
Okay.
But then July 7th...
Next ones.
July 7th, 2017, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Which, that's going to be real interesting because Spider-Man took Tony Stark's side.
Yeah.
But... he's going to be a New York City level hero, and Tony Stark's going to be teaching him. So, is it going to be like Tony Stark is even giving up on the Accords himself a little bit, or you know what I mean? Or is he going to have a new Avengers at this point, and he's training Spider-Man to be a part of it? Like, so that's going to be real.
And will we see him jump to Captain America's side? Since we already know that's kind of what he stands for.
I bet Cap's not even in it. I think it's because like Robert Downey Jr. is scheduled to be in the movie, so I think it's going to be more like Tony Stark mentoring him, and I think you'll get some of the answers from the fallout of Civil War answered in that movie because they're going to have talks and stuff, And probably Spider-Man's going to be like, well, what were we fighting for and stuff, and maybe Iron Man will be like, what, Cap was a little bit right and stuff. So I think
that's kind of what I was aiming for. Yeah, just
I'm not
like disagreements.
Cap or anything. His side.
No, Cap won't be there, but I think just through their conversations, he's going to realize we don't agree idealistically.
Yeah.
And then, after Spider-Man, July 7th, 2017, then we get Thor Ragnarok, November 3rd, 2017.
And Thor's just out of it, so he's just been back in Asgard this whole time, so I don't think this will have anything to do with that. But I think something from Ragnarok will bring Thor into the Infinity War. Like maybe they'll try to get. Don't they have an Infinity Gem?
The Tesseract. I think
Loki.
Loki doesn't have it. I think Heimdall has it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Thanos will show up in the end of that because he's collecting all the gems to put in the gauntlet.
Yeah, he has to.
Oh, yeah.
He has to.
He's like the one making the machinations of why Ragnarok occurs. The war to end all wars in Asgard, and it's the whole scheme for him to get the gem or something like that.
Yeah,
and then
and Loki's always been working for him too. Because Loki was.
That's right. Yeah. Well, he originally had the he had the Mind Stone, and he gave it to Loki. In order to go obtain the Tesseract.
And then the final movie before Infinity War is February 16th, 2018, Black Panther. So. We're gonna get. I think it's 6 movies.
Second Ant-Man movie.
That's crazy.
I think it's later.
Oh, because I thought you were gonna make an Ant-Man and Wasp.
July 6th, 2018. It comes out 2 months after Avengers.
Okay.
We know he lives, so he's gonna live through the Avengers. That's good.
Yeah, and then May 3rd, 2019, just a year later, we get Avengers: Infinity War Part 2. And
There's
then
nothing in between Part 1 and 2. Or is Ant-Man?
Ant-Man. Yeah, Ant-Man. Okay. Yeah, you get Avengers Infinity War May 4th, 2018, then Ant-Man July 6th, 2018, and then basically 8 months later you get Infinity War Part 2. So
I think maybe Ant-Man just sits out the Infinity War then. Because
probably.
I think the next movie, I just rewatched Ant-Man, it has to be about him and Wasp and then trying to get her mother because she's stuck in the nano world.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think he's got to be involved.
68 characters.
68 characters.
Ant-Man 2 just takes place in space. It's like a misnomer. It's just it's Infinity War intermission.
Ant-Man in space. Like a 1950s movie.
Ant-Man in space.
In space.
How can we make this movie more interesting? Let's make it in space. Everything's more interesting in space. So, I mean, man, that's a lot of movies coming out in the next 2 years. I think like 6 or 7 Marvel movies over the next 2 years.
That's
incredible.
A little bit of news. 2 pieces of news for a couple female superheroes is the Russo brothers. Yeah, the Russo brothers accidentally let slip that Captain Marvel is going to be a part of the Infinity Wars.
Right.
So she's gonna. I don't know.
They've already cast her, right? But it's a secret, right?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought it was. Maybe they're not. Maybe they haven't yet. But
then Kevin Feige said that they're committing to a Black Widow solo film.
Yeah.
So that should be good.
Well,
as long as either the Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely write it, or one of the Russos directs it. That'll be cool.
Is it funny that the Russos direct movies together?
Well, as long as they stay brothers, unlike the Wachowskis. Fine. But even that, like, good for
Yeah.
and
As long as they stay brothers.
good for them. But the Russos have been, man, they've been batting 100.
Oh, I know.
You on last episode when Katie was here, you guys were talking about
The Wachowskis.
yeah. Well, no, you're talking about how Whedon kind of he got stressed out and all that stuff, and how the Russo brothers are picking it up, and I think that just the fact that they're a team and there's like 2 people who know each other better than they know themselves, they can handle that stress better than just one guy can. So I think
this is
giving more credit to Whedon.
The Russos, they came from sitcoms. Like they did Arrested Development.
Yeah. Arrested Development and Community.
Yeah, all 4 of them, the Russo brothers and the writers, Marcus and McFeely, did Community. But if you ever watch Community, it's really good story-wise. They have really good story arcs each episode. Like, there's the beginning, middle, and end. It's like a different character's journey each episode. But, like, they know how to tell a story and stuff. And, like they're just good storytellers. You see, like, they came from the world of comedy, and now they're in this. Oh, by the way.
The cameo.
Community? Did you watch Community?
The cameo from the Dean?
Yeah. They just put the Dean in it. They didn't change he played the character from Community in the Avenger, and like he even said him say like semi-gay stuff too. It's just like like
automatically
the hot dog in the meat shaft. It has chemicals. It was perfect. It's just like, and even the way he said it, like, could the factory have somebody? I mean, ew. I mean, but really, it was perfect. Because I went with my buddy too, and he wasn't a fan of Marvel movies, and he said he liked it, but like I kind of got him to go. I was like, all these people worked on Community because he was like a big Community fan, and like, but I did not see that cameo coming, and like we just like laughed because like they literally just pulled the same character and put him in there. And it was awesome.
Yeah,
and then when they had the last one, they had a bead.
Ahmed, yeah.
You know, you racist. Beat and the Winter Soldier, who's just like at a computer. He's one of the Shield guys. So like, kind of cool. They're just doing like callbacks to their own material and actors and stuff. So
yeah, it was
cool. So I guess just getting back to the ending of the movie. So it ends with he writes that letter to Tony Stark. Captain America writes the letter to Tony Stark, and then he shows up on the raft to break everybody out. But I mean, where do you guys see it going from there in these next movies? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess when I looked at Captain America showing up on the raft, first of all, he doesn't have a shield anymore, so that's interesting. I think, being that he uses it so much in these movies that the Russos direct, it seems, where he's deflecting it off of everything and just using it as an awesome weapon. So I mean, I don't know.
But a few things. Like, if you're a fan of the comics. He's operated without the shield before as Nomad, with the U.S. government. And then, currently he gave the shield to Falcon.
Right. And Falcon's the current Captain America, right?
Yes.
In the comic books?
Yeah. And
but now he's returning, right?
Yeah, he's got a different shield. They're giving him a dumb shield. Splits in half. Yeah. It looks like his original shield. Then here's the other thing. He's in Wakanda where they have vibranium. Potentially, the Black Panther could make him a new shield.
Oh, wow.
Or something. So there's a lot of different directions they can go with this. But I kind of like the idea, like they just see him like being an underground hero, leading the underground guys, kind of like he is halfway through Civil War books, the comic books, and then also, what was I gonna say? I lost my
Like
train.
stopping robberies and stuff.
Yeah,
That's what was funny. That was what was funny in the comic book is like they were doing extremely superhero-y things.
Yeah,
Like they
and
weren't
then they
stopping
captured
big
them
world
by
events.
luring them
Yeah.
in the crowd.
Yeah.
Just like,
It's
we
like-
knew you heroes would try to intervene. Now we got you. Like,
It's-
come on.
Gotcha, bitch.
It's like a mustache twirling villain. Like, we sprung the trap. See, like,
Yeah.
you
I
felt-
knew you
you-
would show up, Captain America. You couldn't resist. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. So it's also like the beginning of Captain America: The First Avenger, where he's just leading a small commando team. The Howling
Oh, the
Commando.
Howling Commandos. Yeah.
If you go back to
yeah.
watch that movie, he's just doing the show and tell USO thing, and but all the guys from that unit, because Bucky's with him, are trapped behind lines and like enemy lines. They don't want to go rescue him, so Cap just goes by himself, and then they give him the Howling Commandos, and they just start going to POW camps and rescuing guys and fighting Hydra guys.
Yeah, and that like montage where he's like
Yeah.
busting in, shooting guns,
Yes.
jumping
Yep.
off giant ass tanks,
Yeah, with
So-
Zack
Oh.
Snyder tanks.
Zack Snyder. Somehow Zack Snyder made his way into the MCU.
They were pretty much Zack Snyder's Nazis in that movie.
So a lot of cool directions they can go. So
And I think the raft is going to play a big part in introducing, or at least
like a lot of other people, like they've
yeah.
been under lockdown for a long time. And-
yeah, even characters that we've seen, like Daredevil, might show up in there.
don't know, because otherwise, I kind of wanted to see some cameos of guys that weren't Avengers in the raft already, and I think they might have shown. You know, like the way the Collector in Guardians of the Galaxy, you saw like what's that?
Howard the Duck.
Was it Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
I
You
would have
saw,
thought maybe they would have showed some of that in the raft. Like I don't.
you saw
it's like
Adam
they
Warlock's
have the-
cocoon.
What? Yeah, they have the Superhero Registration Act, but it's not like they're actively going after the superheroes. What it was in the movie, it wasn't a Superhero Registration Act. It was bringing the Avengers under control of the United Nations.
Yeah, the
Right.
UN.
For the
Yeah.
sanction. It wasn't like all superheroes are coming.
But-
No, you Avengers have been doing too much destruction. You guys are like nuclear weapons. We need you to be under the control of the UN. So I think
But
it's
just-
different. It's not like the superhuman registration. They're not going to be hunting down superheroes.
Unregistered superheroes.
Yeah.
But they will if they act outside of the Accord, though.
But
Just
the
like
Accord was just for the Avengers, though. I think we'll probably have to go back to watch the movie, but I'm pretty sure it was
maybe.
pertaining to the
Well, Black
Exclusively to-
Black Panther got arrested alongside Captain America, and only by kind of revealing himself.
Right.
Okay.
and probably
All right,
signing.
You're gonna have something there.
Yeah. And that was what I was gonna say is that they called Captain America. He's like, "Congratulations, Cap, you're a criminal." Just
Yeah.
for
Well, they
also
doing his.
They don't arrest the Black Panther because they're like, you're going to get an office instead of a jail.
Yeah,
He's not-
yeah, because I think he signed. Which,
Uh,
by the way, that was an awesome scene
let's see.
between, like the second argument that they had. I know we're kind of jump back into it, but the second argument that Tony and Cap had, where he brings out the pens and they're talking.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the signs. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pivotal. That's to me when the Civil War started. That was awesome. Good back and forth, and the way that Robert Downey Jr. acted in that, you can tell he was desperate. Like he was like trying to level with him, but and he's Tony Stark. He's really really cool. He's like calm and pretty tight situations. And in this situation, just trying to convince Cap to change his mind, he was like, there was like this underscore of just like pleading while he was like saying his fairly confident lines. He's like, I'm trying to save us from a bigger disaster and all this
He wasn't smart ass joking for one.
Yeah, and he was saying stuff like, if we don't sign it and we act outside the law, we have no control over anything that goes on. If we do sign it, then we have some control over some of the things that we can, save the day on.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch says, like, if we have
Oh,
one
yeah.
hand wheel, we can still steer
Yeah,
this.
that's right.
Well, that was during the first kind of the introduction of the Accord.
Yeah.
When they were, but in this
Yes,
second
the
one,
first
man,
one.
yeah, it was just Tony and Cap, and I can't remember all the lines, but I was like, holy shit, is this some excellent writing? Just the lines that, like, basically Cap was the same. He was like, steadfast in his resolve, and then Iron Man was the one that was kind of breaking at his foundation. as he was like trying to also maintain, like make it look like he was maintaining. It was just perfect acting by him. And so
All right.
Is that it?
That's it. Well, okay, so we had two end credit sequences. The
we
first
talked about the one.
Yeah, the first one was Captain America delivering Bucky to T'Challa in Wakanda, and him being frozen again.
Voluntarily, yeah.
Yeah, voluntarily. So I think that's interesting. I think that we could see that they're going to try to develop some sort of way to erase the brainwashing that he underwent and make him like a good guy now.
Yeah, like and even just that showed like he was able to say like, okay, I can't control this at any point. I can snap.
Right.
But I'm like in my core, I'm a good person. So
Right.
freeze me,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
There was also like I just kind of illustrated too is like when he's fighting Iron Man and Iron Man's like, "Do you even remember my parents?" And Bucky's like, "I remember all of them."
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah,
he's, like,
yeah.
tormented
It's so
by the stuff,
tragic.
but he just knows
Yeah.
he can't control it. But like he witnesses all those murders, even though he can't stop them. And so it's
Yeah, and
like,
and then when they were in the
point.
when they were in the jet, him and Cap,
Yeah,
he's like, it wasn't you. You weren't. You had no choice. And he goes, yeah, but I did it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't change the fact that I did it.
Yeah, he was,
That was
really well developed in this movie, like that tragic role.
Yeah.
And those scenes that you guys just lined up, I think, are just awesome in developing him as just you feel bad for him,
Yeah, it's almost pitiful.
Yeah, and Lucky, you recently watched, Captain America: The First Avenger, but going back to that, where Bucky's Cap's best friend, they're buddies and stuff like that. Like he doesn't have a bad thought in his body, he's a good guy.
No, he's always looking out for little Steve Rogers.
Little Steve, yeah. And
he looks so funny too. It's comical the CGI they do about Cap because he has this giant head, giant Chris Evans head on this tiny body.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
so awkward.
in one way, that's a real triumph that they were able to like shrink him down and make him look smaller. But on the other hand, it is a little comical.
It's just
And I wonder if
With
that's
it.
the first time we ever see Chris Evans. I wonder if that would have been as jarring. Like, would we have believed it more if it was like some unknown, or was it just the fact that we know
no,
what
it's still,
it's
like it
supposed
looks
to
good,
look
but
like?
it also looks goofy at the same time.
Yeah,
That makes
because
sense.
it was the same way with seeing Robert Downey Jr. I mean, he looked exactly like he did in his earlier movies, but it was still odd looking.
Oh, when they made him
a
look
little
young
bit.
in the flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was cool.
which is a cool setup for the ending. Of
I thought it
the
was
whole
Matthew
movie.
Broderick. I wasn't sure. Who
No,
that
I
was.
think they just CGI'd him.
Yeah, they did, but I mean, man, it was trippy. I was like, "What am I watching
Wait,
here?"
Matthew Broderick's old too now. What are you talking? They just
I
get one
know.
old guy to play another guy younger. Like,
Well, they did that in.
you guys were actors in the same era.
You guys are both 55.
Yeah.
They've done that in a few movies now. I think Tron Legacy they did it with Jeff
Oh,
Bridges.
William Hurt. Or yeah, Jeff Bridges.
Oh, and Arnold. They did it with Arnold.
Oh, yeah,
I haven't seen that movie,
Terminator.
but yeah.
No, I don't see it. It's not worth seeing.
Yeah, I did see it.
And I'm a huge Arnold fan, so
Right.
Oh boy. Ooh.
Coming from the
Yeesh.
source. And then
Yikes.
our second
Sorry,
Easter
go
egg
ahead.
was well, not Easter egg, but end credit scene was and Lucky, thank God you told us that there were two because
oh, you almost walked out.
well the
No,
other one
people were
comes at
leaving, yeah.
the other one, like most of them have been they run down the credits of the main stars on the basically whoever's on the movie poster, and then you get your end credit scene. And then this one was at the very, very end, which I don't think we've seen a whole lot of that. There's typically only been one.
Yeah, there's
so-
one, but it's either at like in the middle. You're saying, or at the very end.
Yeah, and this one
Yeah.
was at the very, very end. And so, yeah, and it was Spider-Man playing with his Stark Tech spider gear that, Tony's given him. And it projects that spider image. And now that I've seen it, like, I didn't know this from the comic books and stuff, but he had, like, a spider signal.
Yeah, it's his old school. It wasn't like the bat signal, like Commissioner when
Yeah,
J.
like,
Jonah
shine it
Jameson
on
would
criminals.
But yeah, he used to shine it on criminals from his belt. Is where it used to project from.
Yeah, to just, like, scare them that Spider-Man's around kind of thing.
Watch out! Here comes a Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Anyway,
Yeah, so that was cool, though.
And that like the way it looked on the light, it looked like with some kind of little OS, like there's like little icons on it or something.
Oh
So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
it looks like a little Stark Tech computer or something. You know how Tony's always using projectors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like holograms off of
Yeah.
it was real cool.
It's
So
not
yeah,
as useful as you'd think.
I guess now that we've all talked through the movie, I still maintain that I think for me, it's a great movie, but there's just some things that I guess I was just a little bit disappointed by. The crossbones thing at the beginning of the movie, how there's just the total MacGuffin, and then they just kill him like he's totally disposable. I didn't like that.
I agree with that.
I still think the story at times just gets a little clunky. And there's just so many different characters to manage, and that's part of probably why this movie was 2.5 hours long. Because most of the Marvel movies have been pretty consistent at 2, and this one just went a little bit longer to kind of flesh some things out.
I really like how you're like, we need more Avengers in this movie. And then you're like, it's a little clunky with the ones that are in it.
No, I didn't. I don't mean.
I'm just messing with you.
What I mean is like how Hawkeye shows up and he's like, I'm just going to show up and help Team Cap. I wish that we would have said, yeah, I was, doing whatever over here, but I'm going to show up and help Iron Man or help whoever. But,
You wanted a scene of Hawkeye picking up and answering a phone. It's like, hey, Steve. Yeah. What? He did? What? I'll be right over. All right.
yeah, I wanted like
a chest with his Avengers gear and bow and arrow inside of it.
I wanted a montage of phone calls. And everybody showing up.
Screen of
a visual 3-way
phone with them on it.
and then hitting call waiting and messing up and
and so one of the and again I don't think that this movie
accidentally calls Green Arrow. It's like, oh, sorry, wrong Arrow guy.
I think for me it was just I was expecting some more things that I didn't get. I thought that the fight scene at the airport was
life, Justin.
What's that?
It's like it's called life, Justin.
I know, but like where was Nick Fury? Like I'd love to have seen Nick Fury at some point.
Dude, okay, so leading up to this movie, we're doing this show and everything, so we're trying to keep track of all this stuff and being on top of it. So no longer are we going in these movies fresh, just the three of us. But I think the world is like that now, just with the internet. And I have a buddy at work who I was going to go see the movie with if I couldn't see it with Justin, and he said he went in fresh. So I called him the next day. I said, "What'd you think of the movie?" I said, you said you went in fresh. Were there any big surprises? Because that's all I heard. Mark Bernardin, he said, "Oh yeah, there's some big surprises," which there weren't. The Legos kind of gave away Giant Man.
Yeah.
We knew. I mean, Spider-Man being in the movie was huge news from the get-go. So I called him up and I said, "So what was a big surprise to you?" And he's like, "Dude, I didn't know Spider-Man was going to be in it." I was
Really?
like, "Holy, dude!" I was so fucking jealous. Like, could you imagine going to see that movie and Spider-Man shows up and you didn't know it? And so I was like, it just the notion of that. I didn't think it was possible at this point with how much exposure it was.
Yeah, it's been on like every TV.
We are
spot,
nerds, so we do.
Yeah.
A little.
Well, I mean, this guy is too. He reads all the extended universe Star Wars.
He didn't
books and
see
all
the
that stuff.
trailers.
Yeah, he like purposely avoided them.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
he did it on purpose. He avoided.
Yeah,
it.
so
Okay.
yeah, so then he said,
Good
"Yeah,
for
but
him.
how do you miss the Spider-Man news?" So then I mentioned the airport fight scene, and I'm expecting, what was the big surprise there? And I'm expecting him to say, "Oh, dude, I didn't know, Giant Man," and he goes, "I didn't know Ant-Man was going to be in it." I'm so jealous.
So basically, he's not looked at a television or any promotional materials for this movie. He's like, "Oh, Civil War's coming out. I'll go see that."
Is he like the Winter Soldier when he goes home? They just freeze him, and then they unfreeze him, and he goes to work, does the thing, back home, frozen again.
Yeah.
They unfreeze him for each Marvel movie. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know any of this stuff was in
It's the opposite of the Winter Soldier. They unfreeze him for his own enjoyment, and it's like, "Oh, thank you. Okay, I bet he'd be frozen again until the next movie comes out."
He's the winter viewer.
Yeah, that's funny. So that was my point. Like, I thought they could have killed Rhodes, and War Machine, whatever you want to call him.
Such an asshole, man. Why do you want these people to die?
I agree. Like, let's get some emotional impact, man.
Yeah, because again in Civil War, Goliath gets killed, and it's this huge
but
emotional.
Did you care about Goliath before? Did you really cry?
I don't
cheer for Goliath.
No, but I don't much care about Rhodey because, dude, he is so inconsistent. He's like barely in the movies.
He's in all the Iron Man movies, though. He's like Cap's Bucky. You should watch all the Iron Man movies. Rhodey's in all of them.
Well,
at first he's Hustle and Flow though.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Oh, okay.
Before he's Don Cheadle.
All right, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
well, okay, 2 Hulks, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
So,
that's
3
true.
Hulks.
Three Hulks.
3 different Howard Starks. It's a movie. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess that's that was it for me. Was just that Crossbones thing, and then the
I'm gonna text Don Cheadle, tell him you wanted him to die.
I was just disappointed by no surprises. Because again, like when you hear, oh my god, there's so many
I think
surprises.
that's more Mark Bernardi's fault.
Yeah, fuck
than the
that
movie's
guy.
fault, though, that like he's like, oh, there's surprises, because like when he said that made me think that some of the Netflix people would show up. But like, if he never said that,
yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that much because I already knew all the surprises.
Neither would I have. Yeah,
So-
and that's.
But
Probably
even
my
just
fault for
knowing
listening
Civil
to more.
War, even just knowing the comic book going in, I was expecting a death of somewhere, like a legitimate.
I think you
death.
guys ruined it for yourselves by reading the comic. Like to me, it's because I
Yeah.
read it so long ago. I was like, yeah, whatever, it's fucking version.
Yeah,
Like,
I think you're
read
right.
it again
Like-
just before the movies, but I think that raised your expectations too much.
Yeah, that and just the
Well,
trailers kind of
and-
ruining, like spoilering things.
And by comparison, like going in to see Batman versus Superman, if you go back and listen to our podcast, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty like mellow on this movie at this point because I've heard a lot of bad things. And it was only when the premiere happened, like the week of the movie, where there was a lot of like positive social media stuff going on. I'm like, oh, well, maybe this movie is good. And then I saw the review score at like 25% before I even went in to go see the movie. And that's when I was like, oh, this movie's probably not that great. So my expectations were pretty low. Seeing this at like a Rotten Tomatoes score at like 90+% and hearing people say, like Mark Bernard said, oh, it's the best Marvel movie they've made yet. I don't agree with that. I can't.
I think Kevin Smith says it because I think Mark Bernard, his favorite one is still the first Captain America.
Oh yeah.
Well,
the first
whatever
Avenger.
it is, I don't think I could rank this in my top 3 even, because I would put Guardians ahead of it. I would probably put Captain America. Oh yeah, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably put
First
that.
Avengers.
I'd probably put that at number 2. And then I might plug this one in, I guess, at 3, maybe.
I think this is a 3 or 4 for me. Like
Yeah.
I want to like it more, and it's really entertaining. But like I for some reason I like Winter Soldier better. It just appeals to my sensibilities more. And yeah, Guardians was like such a big surprise, which made me like it more, and it was so funny and stuff.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah, so I think, and then maybe the first Avengers, like rewatching it isn't as good. It still holds up. I'm not saying it doesn't hold up, but like when I first saw that in theaters,
Oh my
like,
god.
what the heck? Like, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's the
So,
fir- and it had Hulk. Like
Yeah,
I think if this
and it
movie
had-
had Hulk, it would have been a lot better.
So this is a 3 to me,
Yeah.
or this is a
Okay.
4 to me. This
Yeah,
is
like
I'm
put
gonna
it
be
at 4.
Yeah,
Just to be clear, that's ranking of
Yeah.
your favorite. Yeah, not like
Marvel.
stars.
yeah.
I would say probably I think for me just the experience that I've had with it, Avengers is kind of always going to have a place in my heart, and it's going to be hard for it to be knocked out. Just like you said, it was the first time you saw anything like that where the payoff,
That
such a huge
That
build-up
money
and-
shot when they're all
The
together
money shot,
and
yeah.
the circle, the camera
That's
like
the
circles
payoff.
around them.
That like Batman and Superman was supposed to be, and that everyone was expecting.
Right.
Yeah,
But
and it
they delivered it like years
Yeah.
ago. in
and then
Marvel.
me and Justin went to the set. I mean, there's just a lot. It was shot in Cleveland,
So Avengers for you
also,
is
big Cleveland shout out in this movie. How
there
about
was
that?
yeah,
Yeah,
the Russos,
dude,
and the
the
crowd
whole-
cheered
yeah,
like when
the
there was
whole audience.
Cleveland.
I think he did it to you for that because like very little of it took place in Cleveland. He was like, let's give something for the Cleveland people. We film all
and
these
it was,
movies.
and what they
Like-
gave us was like the shittiest apartment.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of laughed too because it's like, oh shit, Cleveland. It's like, ah, ha, ha, ha.
Well,
Yeah.
and what so that guy's German then, right? Because he's from Hydra.
No, he's
Yeah.
no, he's
Or
Sokovia.
whatever.
From Sokovia.
No. The guy that he goes to interrogate.
Oh no, I think he's Russian. Because
Well,
remember, he
I was
has
just
the
gonna
book-
say Cleveland has a big Eastern European community.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of that's
Like what? There's a place. I think it's Akron or something.
Russia?
Like Little Germany or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like there's a big Polish, like Slovak. Again, that's why I
Yeah.
live here. That's why I'm
A lot of our
from
foods
here.
are that.
Yeah, yeah. We like pierogies in Cleveland,
Yeah.
so that's why that kind of made sense. But they could have that scene could have taken place anywhere, and it was totally the Russos. Just like let's give a hometown shout out. Like that's what that was. But so Ben, what's your number? Like, what's your ranking for your Marvel movies?
You know what? As far as like, I'm gonna go with Avengers, and
Your
then
number one.
as my number one. I think Daredevil season 2 would probably. I don't know. That would probably beat out.
You can't bring in Daredevil. You got to movies.
That's not fair. You have too long to develop the characters. And
Yeah.
everything in
So
this
you got
stuff.
you got to stick to movies.
All right, I'm gonna go with Daredevil number 2 for my number one now.
What?
That's my number one spot. I've knocked out Avengers just out of spite now.
Can I just say, like, also, like, for my rankings, I hate ranking them. Like, I don't like ranking it because I like them all. There's ones I don't like. Just basically just the Hulk, but like I don't like ranking them because I like all of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, and
yeah,
I don't like
I'm
saying
right there.
this one's better than this one. Whatever.
yeah, and after my probably favorite ones, it gets really hard because it's like everything's tied for
They
fourth.
always go gel together and shit. Yeah, so.
But I think this movie it's gonna have rewatchability a little bit. Like you're not gonna get that red herring surprise. But I think just because, like you guys said, like the plot is a little convoluted at times, or Justin, you said that.
I didn't say
just
that.
on the just on the.
I didn't say anything
viewing,
negative about this movie. So
like on the second viewing, I was paying attention hard, and everything followed. Like oh, dude, I was gonna tell you, the Russo brothers did an honest trailer where they were there.
I saw that.
And they reviewed an honest trailer of Winter Soldier. And they said that they kind of coined a phrase that they kept repeating as they were making this movie.
Honest trailer proof or whatever.
Honest trailer proof, yeah. And so I was watching it like looking for holes, man. And I think they did it. I kind of feel like you'll see on the internet, you'll read
the
a
honest
couple
trailer.
plot holes.
I beg to differ. But like, we'll
yeah,
see.
and it's going to be nitpicky.
Well,
I
was
Winter
reading
Soldier
something from a website, and I was disgusted by it. Like, this is just dumb nitpicky. I'm sorry you didn't get to see some of the things you saw, which is like sometimes why like I hate criticizing.
Did I write that?
Just like no, it was a website.
Screen Rant.
There were like 5 things.
Yeah, I read that.
Like, did you? Okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
Zemo was one of them,
yeah,
and I watched
shut the
it.
Fuck up, like get
Dude,
out.
they got it wrong. They got it wrong.
Yeah,
Well,
I watched
there
it
were
the
like
second time.
2 or 3 points I didn't like. I'm like, you're just asking for stuff that you just wanted to see. Like, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
People
guess
are gonna
I'll just
bitch that Hulk's not in it.
I'll just reiterate. I feel like I've done this 5 times already, but I'll just reiterate. I love this movie. I just think that there were just some things I thought I would get that I didn't get and was a little disappointed by. But that's not the movie's fault. That's hype, that's social media, that's me dreaming about what the movie might be or could be. And so
Again, yeah, watch it in a year and you're gonna love it.
yeah,
even
not
more.
the movie's fault. Yeah, it's like Age of Ultron. It's the best Marvel movie of all time.
What you gotta do is just do what Katie does. When it's not to your liking, do some fanfic. Make
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Captain
write my own.
America Draft 2 and stick it up on Tumblr, and you and Ben can read it. To
And
each
then my phone rings one day, and it's the Russos, and they're like, "Hey, we want another Cleveland guy on our team. What are you doing?"
That's the way shit works. Like, people that like shows write a spec script, send it in, and they're like, "Hey, we liked it."
Not bad.
That's how the Breaking Bad guy got it. So he wrote a spec script for X-Files.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gillen?
Gilligan. He wrote an episode of
Vince
X-Files,
Gilligan,
and they're
yeah.
like, "Hey, we like this. Come on." And then they launched his career. So, I mean, if you don't
And
like
it doesn't even have to be good. You can write a pile
it
of
has
shit.
to be.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. They the 50 Shades of Grey was a Twilight fanfic.
Oh,
and that's
okay,
a
there you
pile
go.
of shit.
Well, women liked it, Ben.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my cup of tea, so, but whatever. Someone else liked it.
Like I said.
Okay.
So
I'm
Yeah,
good.
I'm gonna put it above Winter Soldier, which was one of my favorites at the time. Like nothing's gonna probably knock out Avengers except just because of where it is in my heart. So I'm gonna say
number 2.
without counting Avengers, it's number 1 for me.
Without
Okay.
counting any of the 13 movies, it's
Yeah.
number one.
That's how I feel too. It's like each one is my favorite one. So
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for more Infinity War action though, because I can't wait to see what happens with all this. I'm just really anxious to like Ben, you were talking about how the movie just kind of ended and it left a lot. Like, where's Black Widow? You don't even see her. She's not in prison, and she's not on Team Iron Man. So where did she go, and what is she doing?
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, she's a tweener. So like, where is she, and what's she doing? That was like a big question that I had.
you know where she is? She's hanging out with Nick Fury.
Could be.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, that could
They're
be.
they're looking for Hulk.
You know, I saw.
She could be looking for Hulk. She was apparently she wanted to
true.
control him.
Yeah,
Kind of in love with
the
him,
Russos. The Russos had an interview recently. I think I saw this on IGN where they said, as a writer, you always challenge to write yourself into a corner. So you have to kind of write your way out of it. And so they just kind of talked about how they tried to do that in this movie to figure out really challenging solutions to these complex problems.
And that's
Yeah,
That
I think
is-
that's great. I mean, they obviously didn't write this movie, but I'm sure that they, because lucky the writers of this movie were guys that they worked with on Community, right?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, so yeah, because it's a
The
duo.
only one missing is Dan Harmon. But anyway,
So it's a duo writing team and a duo directing team.
but they're together. They're a cohesive team.
Sure.
So
probably a very fluid ideas going on in that room.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of, this is a sidebar, but I have to take us to the DC universe real quick, because this was fairly big news that came out that I don't think we really much talked about, obviously. But Ben Affleck was named an executive producer.
Oh, yeah.
On
Justice League?
Justice League, yeah.
Yeah.
So
On the tail of the Flash director leaving.
yeah, so there was I don't know, there was just I guess a report came out or whatever, speculation or whatever, that Ben Affleck was just pissed when he saw the critical reception of the movie. And I don't know what happened behind closed doors or whatever, but I imagine he went into somebody's office and said, "You let me jump in here a little bit." And
Or does he say it's like, if there's a single chance, we have to absolutely you need to put me in as a producer. If there's a single chance the Justice League will fail, you absolutely have to put me to act. The way he delivered that line is just like, what the fuck?
And then as a counter, they showed him the movie. They're like, this is why they're mad.
Yeah.
He's like, oh damn.
He's like, well, I like all my parts.
He's like, my parts were sweet.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the 3-hour uncut version of that movie.
By the
I
time
can't wait
this
for
whole-
that to waste my time, for me to watch it and be like, well, that was a waste of time.
You're like, man,
Dude,
I could have
by the
watched
time-
Civil War once more.
Yeah.
By the time this whole Justice League arc is over, like, I don't know if it's even gonna get off the ground. I don't know if it seems like it's failing, but Ben Affleck's coming in to swoop in. He's gonna age like a president. Like, by the time it's over, he's gonna look
He'll
Gonna
Old
look
white
like
hair.
he won't need makeup to look like old Bruce Wayne.
yeah, they're just gonna do that.
Wonder Woman wrapped today, so
Oh no shit.
yeah, so that movie's done and in post production now.
You know, Justin, I mentioned this to you in the theater, and I probably should have shut the hell up, but it was during the previews, so it's cool. But one of the things that Marvel did was they kicked off their universe with Iron Man, which at the time only diehard Marvel fans knew how great he was.
Right.
So there wasn't a lot of expectation. They're trying to kick off the Justice League with fucking Superman versus Batman, which doesn't leave you any wiggle room. And at this point, I'm more excited to see Aquaman, and I'm more excited to see Wonder Woman, because to me, from an outsider, they could do whatever the hell they want with it, really, as long as it's a good movie.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna be nitpicky, and that's kind of what gives you, like, just like what they did with Iron Man. They changed a lot of shit with Iron Man, and people didn't care because a lot of people didn't know,
Mhm.
and it kicked off a whole fucking universe.
Well, okay.
You agree?
I don't think they changed
No?
a lot of stuff with Iron Man. Like, one of the big things with Iron Man is that was before Robert Downey Jr. was a reliable actor. Like, he was still going in and out of rehab then, and so they were taking a huge risk of casting him.
Yeah.
So a lot of that was that director. What's his name?
Jon Favreau.
John Favreau. He's basically the granddad of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for casting.
Oh yeah.
He really is.
Well,
Junior.
well, they changed-
Like,
they
basically
changed
made
Jarvis.
him a star. Okay, because they made him a computer. They took him because the original one he's in like the Vietnam War, and they brought him into Afghanistan.
And Jarvis wasn't. Does Jarvis
Jarvis
become
was an
the
actual
Vision?
butler.
No, he was an actual butler.
He
Yeah.
used to
Okay.
be an actual butler. He used to be like his Alfred, basically, and he took
Yeah.
care of Avengers Mansion. No, I don't think he becomes Vision. So I thought it was clever the way they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
you're
oth-
right. They didn't.
what
They
other-
didn't change. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
they didn't change a lot.
If
You're
anything,
right.
they changed it. They did it to bring it into the modern world.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Which
the
is
setting and
completely acceptable.
because
Everything they did change.
Punisher, Iraq, Afghanistan vet versus Vietnam War vet. It's just shitty thing. All these comics were written in the '60s, so that's why they're all
Yeah,
like that era, and you have to bring them in. So
right.
Um,
But I mean, I think my point still stands. Where they need to start off with these like less
with one
less
hero,
popular
Yeah,
hero. Yeah,
okay,
one
I
hero,
give it
number
a-
one. You know what I mean? And because then you people don't care as much if it's not exactly right. As long as it's a great performance and a great movie or whatever. And then you start building on it, and then you give us Justice League.
Well-
Just like, and then you give us Avengers.
And
but also DC was playing catch up to their defense. They're like, well, shit. they
Yeah,
already
and it's
beat it.
not-
We gotta fucking.
But did they have to view it as catch up? Couldn't they have just said, "Well, okay, so
That's
Marvel's
exactly
Yeah.
where
so
that's
Marvel's
their
10
fault.
movies ahead of us. We're gonna start now. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna build it slow."
Which
And-
they
Yeah, it's like,
tried
what's
to
the
with
raise?
Superman. They just got the wrong director.
yeah.
to them.
Yeah, and then they
To them-
gave him control of the entire cinematic universe.
I think they got the right Superman. I think they have the right actors, but like maybe
agree.
Zack Snyder isn't the best guy anymore. That's
Yeah,
all.
man, I feel bad for Henry Cavill because I feel like he's a great choice for Superman.
He is. I hope they don't get rid of
He
him.
is.
But they killed
He
him. Like,
I hope they don't get rid of him, but
that's
he's
how
already
destructive
dead.
Zack Snyder is. Like, well, we got cast the perfect Superman. Let's kill him. Like, whoa. All right.
Yeah.
Movie started. Robin's dead.
Yeah. Who else can we kill? Let's see who else we can
Yeah.
get.
Well, the Waynes
let's
die in
see
the
here.
opening credits.
Doomsday. They don't kill
Yeah.
Doomsday in the comics. Kills him in the movie.
Yeah. Kill
Whatever
Doomsday.
you do, don't tell the origin again. Now I want to kill his parents again.
Yeah. People like to see the parents die.
We need a lot of
They
death.
start
in these
every
movies.
movie with the parents dying.
So that's like again.
Justice League just starts with the Waynes dying.
again.
It's like, oh, in case you forgot. Yeah.
And the Spider-Man origin story where we see Uncle Ben dying also.
Hey,
Because they do
They
that a
ignored it.
lot.
They ignored it this
They
time.
did,
so-
thank God.
They
Oh
didn't
my
even mention
God.
it specifically. He just refers to it like, well, when I don't do things, bad stuff happens. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, enough DC talk. But I was just saying that I think it's great that Ben Affleck's going to have a more influential and
Hands-on.
creative
Yeah.
role in the movie rather than just being an actor because they're wasting his talents if he's just like, yeah, just act. Like, I'd say Ben Affleck's a pretty good actor, but he's probably way better in the director's chair. He's done a lot of really good movies as a director. So
Yeah. You know what I
keep
see
doing
happening? I see Suicide Squad being so popular and such a big hit that's what actually kicks off the universe.
yeah, could be.
Yeah, and I kind of see
You know-
the traction.
You know what's so funny? I guess because of Civil War and because of BVS being so kind of disappointing, that I've kind of forgotten that, 2 months, 3 months, and we'll get to see Suicide Squad. Like, I forgot that we do have another DC movie before Wonder Woman, so
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any parting words? I think we did it.
Shocking.
No, I gotta tap out. So
All right.
good.
All right. Well,
I
Civil
think
War
we'll
was
still
awesome.
talk about Civil War again. Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
But
we thought we'd
save
never
it
talk
another
about
time.
Batman vs Superman again, but we still bring it up 2 months
Well,
later.
I
so.
wanted to set this up for next episode. Justin, you rewatch it and give us another review.
I'm going
see
to,
what
yeah.
happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, again, I liked it. It's a very good movie, but
But just
But
the holes that you
I'm-
kind of felt,
Yeah.
that I felt, that I experienced with you. I want to see what happens if you have the same experience I had on your second.
I'll probably see it again tonight. So I
Yeah.
will. I will definitely keep you posted.
I think I'm gonna like it more every time I watch it.
There's something you're going to catch every time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that has been our recap and review of Civil War.
Recap.
We were Captain America again. So thanks for tuning in. As always,
Don't forget to plug the Twitter and email.
Yeah. check out our Twitter. It's at TBFcast. And what we want to do, and you can also email us, tbfcast@gmail.com. And what we want to do is we just kind of want to generate some audience interaction and participation. We'd love to hear from you guys, what you think about the show and some things you'd like to hear us talk about. So feel free to send in any questions to our Twitter or our email address. And you can always look us up on Facebook. It's facebook.com/thebestfriendspodcast. And, we're on iTunes. Feel free to subscribe and leave us a review. And we're on SoundCloud. You can follow us there as well. And I don't know if you can do a review on SoundCloud, but if you can, obviously just tell people how great the show is. Did I cover it? Did I do it?
Yeah. And also, please do subscribe to us on iTunes and leave a review.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Totally. All right. That's been Civil War. Signing off. We'll see you guys next time.
Excelsior.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Best Friends Podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard on today's show, check us out on the web at tbfcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at tbfcast and like us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/thebestfriendspodcast.